Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hold on, Wadix. We're going to do that again. It's a bright day, a lovely Wednesday here on the Nature Isle. I want a Nature Isle kind of good afternoon. Thank you.
That's much better. It gives us great pleasure to welcome everyone here today. At this point in time, we would like to stand for the national anthem. Thank you very much. Stay standing as we welcome in our midst the divine interventor and to lead us in prayer, Paula Durand.
Good afternoon, everybody. Could we bow our heads in reverence to our Heavenly Father? Hallelujah. Father, we give you thanks. We give you praise, for this is a day that you have made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. We thank you, Lord, that we are all here. Sound mind, healthy bodies, and we came down safely from our separate homes. We thank you for your journeying mercies. We thank you because you have been good to us. We thank you, Lord, that as we are gathered here, you are here with us because you said where we are gathered, you are here. We thank you, Lord, for your presence with us. As we go through this competition, Lord, we just pray that each child reads to the best that they can, that we will listen, they will learn, and Father, that your presence, you will be there every step of the way. We thank you, Father. Be with us as we continue these proceedings. In Jesus' name we pray.
Yes.
Please be seated.
You know, this is the 2025 finals of the DBS Radio Felix Henderson a national reading competition with headline sponsor Dragon Windows. I'm your host here this afternoon, Amelia Joseph Dennis, and it's a pleasure, Monsieur, to be alongside the ambassador. What's your name again?
Leroy Wadix Charles.
Leroy Zagabet, no.
It's
been a minute. I mean, standing alongside you in such, platform. Yes, c'est un plaisir.
And it gives us great pleasure because the person who actually initiated this particular reading competition in 2008 mentored us both.
Indeed.
So it gives us great pleasure to be here in his memory, Senior Felix Henderson.
Yes. But to officially welcome us here this afternoon for this final leg, as we continue on our quest for the best reader for 2025, let's welcome to the podium, as she welcomes us officially, the coordinator for this year's events, Ms. Kashina Joseph.
Good afternoon to everyone, our finalists, our teachers, coaches, parents, supporters, judges, staff, and the management of DBS Radio. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting our students as they read in the final competition of the DBS Radio Felix Henderson Ministry of Education National Reading Competition. I'm sure all of you are happy that we are at the end, and we will have a new top reader by the end of today's proceedings. We want to say our judging panel looks a little bit different, but that's because this is how we do it at the finals. We have 5 judges today instead of 3. The students will all be reading the same script for the narrative, the news, and the sports round. Because of technology, we hope to be out early. We have with us Mr. Joseph Fadul, who will be putting the scores into a system that he has created to give us the scores automatically. Thank you again for being here and welcome. This is the last leg of this year's competition, and we do hope to have some amazing reading because the readers have been doing a good job so far, and we expect absolutely nothing less from them today.
Thank you very much.
You know, I don't want to stray from this whole program, but it's amazing that this afternoon, the students were able to have lunch together with their parents and the teachers. And there is one particular reader who came up to me, because we just heard from Miss Joseph Wadix. And this particular reader came up to me, what is the difference between you? I'm like, between me and who? I was really anxious. What is the difference between you and me and who? Kashina Joseph. I'm like, oh, there is only one similarity between me and Miss Joseph, is that we are both Joseph. Everything else is different. But she was really curious to know what is the difference. I'm like, no, just one similarity, but we are different. We are different on every
Only
other
one
level.
similarity?
Only one. No, she wouldn't know the difference because we were Joseph.
No, but then only one similarity?
I think the only similarity is that we are Joseph.
You all are not women?
I mean, come on, that's natural.
You all are not working at DBS Radio?
Well, that might be too.
You all are not beautiful?
Well, yes. Well, okay. I fall short of a few, but yes.
Okay.
All right.
At this point in time, it gives us great pleasure to welcome a very good partner. As a matter of fact, they are responsible for our education on the Nature Isle.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We now call on the representative from the Ministry of Education, the Assistant Chief Education Officer. Let's make her feel welcome, Miss Nadia Farrell.
Good afternoon, everybody. Distinguished guests, DBS Radio family, educators, parents, guardians, judges, valued partners in this initiative, and most importantly, our young and courageous readers. Today, I represent the Ministry of Education, and I apologize for the absence of our minister, our permanent secretary, and the chief education officer. They are all engaged in other matters. But today, I feel so honored to represent the ministry in such an occasion, a special occasion, the Felix Henderson National Reading Competition. We celebrate literacy, talent, discipline, and confidence. This competition is also a reflection of something much deeper, our collective commitment to ensuring that every child in Dominica is given the opportunity to succeed. At the Ministry of Education, our mission is guided by a powerful and simple motto: each learner succeeds. These 3 words are a national promise, a promise that no child will be left behind, a promise that every child, regardless of where they come from or the challenges they face, deserves access to quality education, support, and the tools to reach their full potential. And there are few tools more important than literacy. Reading is not just a subject taught in school, but the foundation of learning. It is how students unlock mathematics, science, social studies, and every other subject. You'll agree with me, right? Yeah. It is how they explore the world, understand themselves, and find their voice in society. Without strong reading skills, a child's opportunities are limited. With them, possibilities are endless. That is why events like this are so important. This reading competition aligns perfectly with our national vision for education. It brings to life our commitment to literacy as a cornerstone of student success. Today's participants, our brilliant young readers, are living proof that our efforts are bearing fruits. Each of you has worked hard to be there. You've read, practiced, prepared, and most importantly, you've stepped forward with courage. Regardless of today's outcome, we want you to know you're already champions. You agree? You're all champions. To our teachers, your role in this journey is essential. The countless hours you spent nurturing the reading skills, building vocabulary, exploring fluency and comprehension, you are shaping minds and shaping futures. Most times we invite teachers or schools to participate in events and they find it's tiring or we just adding. No, you are actually building your students. So feel free, other schools, those who did not participate this year, let your children experience what it takes to be out there. It improves their speaking, their confidence. To our parents and guardians, you're our first partners in education. Your encouragement at home, your support with reading, your belief in your children, it all matters. Your presence here today shows that learning does not stop at the school gates. To DBS Radio and the other partners, thank you for continuing to invest in literacy and national pride through this long-standing competition. Your commitment helps reinforce that education is not just a government responsibility, it is a national one. And yes, we do take a moment today to remember Mr. Felix Henderson, whose name this event proudly carries. A voice of the people and a true cultural icon. Mr. Henderson understood the power of language to connect, educate, and elevate. While today's competition is about the future, his legacy reminds us to value the journey. As we look ahead, the Ministry of Education reaffirms its commitment to improving literacy rates across all grade levels. We are investing in early reading interventions, classroom libraries, teachers training, and inclusive strategies that support struggling readers. Because we believe that every child can learn and every child can succeed if given the right support and at the right time. So to our readers today, continue to explore the world through books. Let your voices be strong and clear. Let reading shape your thoughts, your dreams, and your confidence. You are not just representing your school, you are representing the promise of Dominica's future. Thank you, and let us continue working together to ensure that in every school, in every village, and in every home, every child succeeds. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, just want to welcome the PS of the Ministry of Education, Robert Gist. Make him feel welcome. A round of applause for the Parliament, the PS of Education. Somilia?
Yes.
We are at that time where we're going to do some introduction.
Yes, because we are just getting ready for competition. But before we do that, we of course want to let you know who our judges are, the ones who are tasked with judging the final round of this competition. And we'll start, of course, with the lady in blue, Miss Paula Durand.
Make her feel welcome.
Paula Durand.
Thank you very much.
Has been a teacher since graduating from Convent High School in the 1980s and has recently retired. She says teaching and raising her 4 children are the greatest achievement, and she's now proud being a grandmother of 3. She has served as reading competition judge for many years. One more time for Miss Paula Durand.
Let it go.
Sitting to her right, we have Miss Edina Doughton. Miss Edina Doughton is the principal of the Dominica Grammar School, who has decades of long career in education. She has judged the national reading competition also for many, many years.
Make her feel welcome.
Our next judge is Miss Natasha Henderson.
The daughter of Gordon Henderson.
Natasha Henderson, a destination management consultant, is also the director and lead tutor at Linguistics Plus Academy, a general academic support institution, specializing in the teaching of foreign languages. She holds a double master's degree and has been a language specialist in Spanish, French, and English in France for over a decade, and in Dominica at St. Lucia for the past 15 years. An avid passionate of arts, literacy, Natasha Henderson is a senior judge for the Dominica Calypso and has been a three-time first-place winner of the Nature Island Literacy Festival. Let's give it up one more time for Natasha Henderson.
And incidentally, before the Felix Henderson DBS Radio and Ministry of Education reading competition, DBS had our first reading competition, and guess what? Natasha, was the first winner. A round of applause for.
And the next judge sitting to her right is Miss Ashma McDougall.
Beautiful Ashma McDougall.
Who is a distinguished economist, educator, and advocate for sustainable economic development in Dominica. Currently serving as the executive director of the Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce, DAIC. She brings over a decade of experience in academia, economic research, and leadership role to her position. McDougall is a reader in international development and economics and holds a master's degree in economic policy and has dedicated 13 years to teaching economics at the tertiary level. Let's give it up one more time for Miss Ashma McDougall.
Round of applause, let it go.
I'm not sure how to say this, but something about him.
The only male.
If you want to say it like that, yes.
The only man.
The only male.
The only male judge.
Judge at this year's competition is Mr. Prince Saint Jean. He has served as judge for many, many years, and prior to that, as a reading coach for Miss Kennelly Barron, the 2017 DBS Reading National winner, who placed third in the OECS reading competition. In November of 2024, he was elected as the rapporteur for UNESCO's memory of the World's Committee for Latin America and the Caribbean. Mr. Saint-Jean also prepared a sixth grade student for social studies component of the grade 6 national assessment. Mr. Saint-Jean is Dominica's first trained archivist and served as head librarian at the Roseau Public Library. He holds a master's degree in archive administration. Our only male judge here this afternoon, Mr. Prince Saint-Jean.
History-making judge.
That is correct.
Are we getting set, Milia?
You know, I feel something good, you know. When you hear judges like this judging a competition of such standard, you can senti bien what it's.
Yes, so we are now going to the starrings.
Yes.
The champions.
Of this afternoon's.
How are you feeling? Are you nervous? Are you nervous?
Are you all nervous?
So we're going to allow you to just say your name and which school you're representing, and we're going to go across. Is that okay?
So you're going to introduce yourself.
First.
My name is Kaylee Paris, and I'm representing Lighthouse Christian Academy.
A round of applause. Are you feeling cold? You're feeling cold. But you okay? You sure you're okay?
My name is Jared Walsh, and I am representing the Barron Christian Academy School.
Let it go for Barron Academy. You're also feeling cold? You okay? You want to do some jumping jacks? Are you sure? Tell us your name and the school you're representing.
My name is Emily Prevost, and I'm representing Sansevier Primary School.
Let it go for Sansevier.
My name is Sani Laville, and I'm representing Pioneer Preparatory School.
Let it go for Pioneer Prep.
My name is Kiara Chon. I'm representing the Siniku Primary School.
Siniku.
Yes.
In the Kalinago territory.
Yes. Tell us your name.
My name is Amelia. The mic works? Oh. My name is Amelia, and I'll be representing the Roosevelt Douglas Primary School.
All right, Guantons. Portsmouth in the house. Yes.
My name is Ada John Baptiste, and I'll be representing St. Luke's Primary School.
La Pointe with love. St. Luke's Primary School.
My name is Kira David, and I'm representing the Ebenezer SCA Primary School.
Ebenezer SCA Primary.
My name is Amelia Roll, and I'm representing the Benz Primary School.
One of the most beautiful communities in Dominica. Benz.
My name is Malik Smith, and I'm representing the PT7 Primary School.
P7.
In the building, we're getting
Yes,
set, Milia.
we are getting set, Wadix. Just to let our viewers and those of you who are in the audience, let you know that the students will be reading the first round in the narrative piece. They've already been given the material, they've already gone through it, and they are ready. Are you ready?
But even before we go to them, we want to say welcome to the teachers here. Big up teachers. Parents, guardians, friends, well-wishers, and readers. Yes.
Yes, Wadix, initially when we were setting up here this morning, I felt that, the chairs were too much, but it doesn't seem to be enough.
We will need some more chairs.
We will need some more chairs here
by
this
the time we
afternoon.
are midway.
That is correct.
Okay, we get it set.
Before we go into competition, we need to reinforce what the rules are for this final competition. We'll take a break and we'll listen to the rule book.
DBS Radio, Felix Henderson, National Reading Competition, Competition Rules. Rule number 1. The competition is open to grades 3, 4, and 5 students, ages 10 and under. Rule number 2. Students are expected to dress in complete school uniforms since they are representing their schools. Rule number 3. Students will be judged based on attached rubric. Rule number 4. There will be 3 rounds of competition. During each round, students will be expected to read a narrative, a news item, and a sports item. Rule number 5. The top 30 students from round 1 will advance to round 2, the semifinals. Rule number 6. The top 10 students from round 2 will advance to the final round after all 3 groups have competed. Rule number 7. At the end of each group competition in round 1, students will be given a certificate of participation. Rules for the DBS Radio Felix Henderson National Reading Competition. DBS Radio Felix Henderson National Reading Competition Reading Rubric. Items scored from 1 to 5. Item 1. Were all words read accurately and fluently? Item 2. Did student establish frequent eye contact? Item 3. Was punctuation interpreted correctly? Item 4. Was expression used effectively? That is, sounded professional, changes tone to emphasize important content. Item 5. Changes in inflection and tone to capture mood of story. Item 6. Were words grouped logically? Item 7. Was there effective voice projection and volume? Item 8. Was the selection read at an appropriate rate for audience and purpose? Item 9. Was the student able to recover quickly if a mistake was made? And item 10. Did the student appear relaxed or confident? Items are scored from 1 to 5, 5 being the highest. The highest total possible for any student is 50. DBS Radio, Felix Henderson, National Reading Competition, Reading Rubric.
Thank you very much. The morning man, Hazari.
Yes.
We're getting set, Milia.
We are getting set, Warix. We are ready for competition. As you know, this afternoon our students will be reading through 3 rounds: the narrative piece, the reading of the news, and that of sports. Woo, I feel nervous already.
You're nervous?
Yes, I am.
I'm excited.
Okay.
And that's because we are now going to welcome the Honorable Kasani Laville, with us, the Minister of Health. Welcome to support the DBS reading competition. We get it set, Milia?
Yes, we are, Warix.
Number 1.
All right.
The first reader.
In the narrative round, let's welcome from the Lighthouse Christian Academy, Kelly Paris.
A round of applause for...
Nancy stepped off the cruise ship and took off his party hat. "Where's the party?" he shouted. Then he listened for the song of calypso and reggae music. What he heard was silence. Nancy sniffed the air and licked his lips, expecting to smell aromas of tropical foods in the air. But no foods were cooking. "Where's the party?" shouted Nancy. "Where are the bright colors? Where are the happy people? I brought my party hat and want to eat, sing and dance to calypso and reggae music." Nancy had been to this island in the Caribbean many times before and always had a good time. Now the island was quiet. The people were dressed in dark clothing. No singing or music could be heard. No smells of food were in the air. Usually, the people loved to see Nancy. He was known for his quick wit and his fun stories. Right now, the people were pressing their fingers to their lips and telling him to shh. "What's wrong with everyone?" asked Nancy. "I came to party and you all keep telling me to shh." "It's the snake," one islander finally whispered as he looked with fear towards the jungle. In the middle of the jungle lives a giant snake, a python. It's larger than any snake we have ever seen. It ate most of the jungle animals. It also ate most of our cows and the pigs. The python also eats people who come too close where he lives by the river. If we cook our island foods, the snake smells it and comes to eat. If we play music or sing and play calypso and reggae, the snake hears and comes to the party. If we dress in our bright clothes, he sees us and comes to us. We are afraid. There will be no parties on the island until the snake is gone. Nancy looked around and saw everyone's head bobbing up and down sadly. "Where is this snake?" shouted Nancy. "I will kill the snake."
Let it go! Milia.
Yes, Suarez.
Si bon di bon.
Labor Debo.
As we await our judges to tabulate their scores and give it to our chief judge,
yes,
I'm going to reminisce on Felix.
As we should, you do.
Yes, because this, as a matter of fact, what we have actually been able to achieve in the Creole language at DBS Radio, we must attribute it to him. So I'm going to say it in English. Oui, Papa. Stephen Nangelman is here. So we're going to say, did you know in Creole, c'est quoi ça?
We can say it many ways. Est-ce savent, est-ce connaît, est-ce te savent, est-ce connaît. We can say it many ways depending. But let's go. Yes.
Okay. Did you know, Milia, that Felix Henderson was born May 26, 1956 to Helena Barron and Philip Henderson?
So you want me to say that in Creole?
A Creole.
Because est-ce te savent, can I see it or you want me to just say it? Okay. Est-ce te savent que Felix Henderson te fait à sous le 26 mois mai 1956, hot maman Helena Barron et puis papa Philip Henderson.
Great. Creole icon and veteran broadcaster Felix Henderson died on the evening of November 10th, 2020. A Creole.
Eh bien, un monde qui nous connaît bien, ça fait créole, et puis un monde ça fait média, Felix Henderson, mort la veille novembre 10 2020.
Felix Henderson entered the Dominica Grammar School in 1968.
Felix Henderson went to l'école grammar school en 1968.
Felix Henderson was first employed at DBS Radio as an announcer in November 1977.
Eh bien, Felix Henderson went to travailler à Radio DBS premièrement en mois novembre 1977.
Okay. He was also the recipient of several national awards, including the Cicero Award of Honor, Dominican's second highest award in 1992.
Eh bien, M. Henderson tapé en pile l'honneur, mais parmi eux, eh bien, c'est deuxième plus haut l'honneur en Dominique, ça nous a qui est Cicero Award of Honor en 1992.
Pas de problème. How's he did? Comment il fait? How's he did? 100%. What are your best memories of Felix Henderson?
One of the best things I remember about Henderson, he had a lot of joke. He tenait pile blague. And, you know, he was just easygoing. And he was very passionate. Oh, my God, the Creole. I remember when I just started, just about the first year at DBS Radio, Felix, if I would have said something, maybe it wasn't supposed to, I may have said it wrong because our Creole can be different. And I would remember him coming and say,
Different?
Different in the sense
that... Oh, you both are from Grand Bay, South City, Guambe?
Well, I should say fortunately, but I am from different Creole backgrounds, Felix.
Guadeloupe.
So, yes. So I have the French Creole, and I also have the the Grand Bay Creole, and also I have to do the Dominican Creole. So that's generalizing altogether. And I remember he would tell me, that one is French, right? That is French Creole. You have to learn how to balance it and keep it local. So that was one of the things that I remembered, and I think that kept me in check. So now I can tell somebody I can manage our Creole, and I can push aside the French Creole and only speak French Creole when I'm speaking French.
How important is the Creole language in Dominica?
Oh, it is so important, and I believe that it's not at the level that it should be, even if, because we will get back to that.
But we are ready for our second reader.
Yes.
And the second reader from
our second reader comes from the Berean Christian Academy. We're going to welcome Jahid Walsh.
A round of applause for... Whenever you're ready.
Anansi stepped off the cruise ship and took off his party hat. "Where's the party?" he shouted. Then he listened for the sound of calypso and reggae music. What he heard was silence. Anansi sniffed the air and licked his lips, expecting to smell the aromas of tropical foods in the air, but no foods were cooking. "Where's the party?" shouted Anansi. "Where are the bright colors? Where are the happy people? I brought my party hat and I want to eat, sing, and dance calypso and reggae music." Anansi had been to this island in the Caribbean many times before and always had a good time. Now the island was quiet. The people were dressed in dark clothing. No singing or music could be heard. No smells of food were in the air. Usually, the people loved to see Anansi. He was known for his quick wit and his fun stories. Right now, the people were pressing their fingers to their lips and telling him to shh. "What's wrong with everyone?" asked Anansi. "I came to party, and you all keep telling me to shh." "I came to wait. It's the snake," one islander finally whispered as he looked with fear towards the jungle. In the middle of the jungle lives a giant snake, a python. It is larger than any snake we have ever seen. It ate most of the jungle animals. It also ate most of our cows and the pigs. If we cook our island foods, the snake smells it and comes to eat. If we play music or sing and play calypso and reggae, the snake hears and comes to the party. If we dress in our bright colors, he sees us and comes to us. We are afraid. There will be no parties on the island until the snake is gone. Anansi looked around and saw everyone's head bobbing up and down sadly. "Where is this snake?" shouted Anansi. "I will kill the snake."
All right. And that was Jahid Walsh from the Berean Christian Academy. Now, Wadix, I'm not sure if you noticed that some of the students are missing. The reason for that being that they are all reading the same piece. Hence the reason why some of them will be absent. And those who have already read will maintain their seats, while those who have not yet read will enter when it's their turn to read.
Saying good afternoon to Charles Isaac, more popularly known as Sowa. Sowa. Good to have you, Sowa.
Yes.
Milia, we were just going to speak about the importance of the Creole language to Dominica.
Yes, Wadix, I believe Creole is really important if we continue, if we want, of course, to maintain and to reserve a tradition that we hold so dear to us. I'm not sure we understand the importance of Creole when it comes to our traditional customs. I know when it comes to tradition, we only think of food and we only think sometimes of dressing and maybe the dances and so on. But the Creole language, and Creole again, is not just the language. Creole is a way of life. And sometimes we need to emphasize on that. People think when you say Creole, it's like Mokapale Creole, and that's it. No. You have to live Creole, speak Creole, eat Creole. Creole, again, is the way of life, and it's important to us here in Dominica.
Est-ce que vous dit ça Creole?
Yes, moi ça dit ça Creole. Eh bien, messieurs, mesdames, Creole, moi dit c'est vraiment quelque chose qui est nécessaire pour nous en Dominique. C'est quelque chose qui aide nous préserver tradition et puis coutume nous. Creole c'est pas seulement un langage, mais Creole c'est manière qui nous ca vivre. Eh bien, si nous c'est Creole, nous n'est pour manger Creole, habiller Creole, parler Creole. Eh bien, généralement, vivre Creole.
Merci April. Let it go for my co-host as he continues to excel in the Creole language. And we are just waiting on our judges as they tabulate to make sure they get the accurate recording of the points. And as soon as they do that, we will go to our other contestants. And here, and by the way, Millie, I'm not sure if you're noticing, the women or the girls or the feminine gender are taking over the masculine gender. Just look at the audience. More young girls, more young women than men. What has gone wrong with our men, Milia?
Well, I can only answer for women.
You can only answer for women. Why are there more women than men?
Well, why are there less men than women?
Well, let's deal with the more women first. I'll deal with the...
I think it's, other side is the Y gene as opposed to the X gene, is something like that, right? So maybe it's something biological,
we will
but we are
deal
ready.
with that right after.
Yes.
But we're getting set for our third reader.
Reader who comes from the Sansove Primary School. We welcome to the reading podium, Imani Prevo.
Anansi stepped off the cruise ship and took off his party hat. "Where's the party?" he shouted. Then he listened for the sound of calypso and reggae music. What he heard was silence. Anansi sniffed the air and licked his lips, expecting to smell aromas of tropical foods in the air. But no foods were cooking. "Where's the party?" shouted Anansi. "Where are the bright colors? Where are the happy people? I brought my party hat and want to eat, sing, and dance to calypso and reggae music." Anansi had been to this island in the Caribbean many times before and always had a good time. Now, the island was quiet. The people were dressed in dark clothing. No singing or music could be heard. No smells of food were in the air. Usually, the people loved to see Anansi. He was known for his quick wit and his fun stories. Right now, the people were pressing their fingers to their lips and telling him to shh. "What's wrong with everyone?" asked Anansi. I came to party and you keep telling me to shh. It's the snake," one islander finally whispered as he looked with fear towards the jungle. In the middle of the jungle lives a giant snake, a python. It is larger than any snake we have ever seen. It ate most of the jungle animals. It also ate most of our cows and the pigs. The python also eats people who come too close to where he lives by the river. If we cook our island foods, the snake smells it and comes to eat. If we play music or sing and play calypso and reggae, the snake hears and comes to the party. If we dress in bright colors, he sees us and comes to us. We are afraid. There will be no parties on the island until the snake is gone. Anansi looked around and saw everyone's head bobbing up and down sadly. "Where is this snake?" shouted Anansi. "I will kill the snake."
All right, and that
Let's
was
go!
a morning preview from the Sansofa Primary School. 3 down already in this round. We have 7 more to go.
Milias Ibo!
T-Paul.
And we are witnessing exemplary reading from our children in Dominica. And we really want to thank a round of applause for the teachers. Yes. Prepared, and the parents also who possibly did some preparation at home. So, Milia, back to your question. Why are there more girls, more young ladies, and more women
more female,
than men
more female.
or females in here and also in the reading competition than males?
Well, again, I can only go with biology.
Biology.
Well, yes, isn't biology that tell you have so many genes as opposed to the other gene, the X gene and the Y gene? You know, isn't that not creating boys and girls? So the Y, am I correct? Who does biology here? I think it's that. It's X and Y. More Y would mean female, more X would be men. Oh, my go, sir. But I'm going with biology. I cannot believe. I'm not sure. What do you think? I mean, other than the fact that we have, if you look at it now, even at the school level, even during birth, you go to the hospital right now and you would do a research, you would have more girls being born
that is true.
Than boys.
The Minister of Health, is that true? More girls are born than boys? Minister, you don't have the data.
There's a slight... No, I'm telling you.
I know a lot of the men are dying.
No, but we're looking at
The
boys
young men.
now. We're looking at boys. Let that go up already.
Okay, so let's deal with the boys.
We're looking at boys. Let's just look at the primary level, for example.
Uh-huh.
You have more girls than boys.
Is that true, PS? More girls than boys in the primary schools? Why? It's interesting, you know. More girls are born.
More girls.
There are more boys. In the primary school level, there are more boys. The grade 6. At the grade 6. More boys. Wow. Okay, we're getting set, Amelia, for the fourth reader.
We'll come back to
from the Pioneer Prep.
Yes, Sunny Laville.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Anansi stepped off the cruise ship and took off his party hat. "Where's the party?" he shouted. Then he listened for the sound of calypso and reggae music. What he heard was silence. Anansi sniffed the air, and licked his lips, expecting to smell aromas of tropical foods in the air. But no foods were cooking. "Where's the party?" shouted Anansi. "Where are the bright colors? Where are the happy people? I brought my party hat and want to eat, sing, and dance to calypso and reggae music." Anansi had been to this island in the Caribbean many times before and always had a good time. Now the island was quiet. The people were dressed in dark clothing. No singing or music could be heard. The people were dressed in no smells of food were in the air. Usually, the people loved to see Anansi. He was known for his quick wit and his fun stories. Right now, the people were pressing their fingers to the lips and telling him to shh. "What's wrong with everyone?" asked Anansi. "I came to party, and you all keep telling me to shh." "It's the snake," one islander finally whispered as he looked with fear towards the jungle. "In the middle of the jungle lives a giant snake, a python. It is larger than any snake we have ever seen. It ate most of the jungle animals. It also ate most of our cows and the pigs. The python also eats people who come too close to where he lives by the river. If we cook our island foods, the snake smells it and comes to eat. If we play music or sing and play calypso and reggae, the snake hears and comes to the party. If we dress in our bright clothes, he sees us and comes to us. We are afraid. There will be no parties on the island until the snake is gone." Anansi looked around and saw everyone's head bobbing up and down sadly. "Where is this snake?" shouted Anansi. "I will kill the snake."
All right, and that was Sunny Laville.
Yes! Let it go! C'est bon, des bon.
That's right. Avec Avini pli en primaire, what it's?
Yes, you can pli en primaire.
Yes.
And PS, can I ask you a question or two? Come on the mic. Come closer. We want everyone to see you. You represent the Ministry of Education. No, but I want to ask you a question about the growth of this reading competition. You were there from inception. And as the PS come, you're going to be captured live on DBS News and everything. You were there from the inception with Felix Henderson, and you yourself graduated to now becoming the PS of Education. Tell us about the growth of this particular competition.
Okay, so the competition started about 16 or 17 years ago. It was the brainchild of Felix Henderson. And up to the last visit I had with him at the hospital, I still call him Niniput. From since I was small, that's how I remember Felix as Mr. Niniput. Yeah, so the competition started about 17 years ago. We have been a partner with DBS from inception. It started off with a concept by Mr. Henderson. He came, he spoke with Mr. Goldberg and myself. We decided to partner with them, and the competition has grown and grown and grown. I don't know if you recall the OECS reading competition, the Courts OECS reading competition. Courts came on board, I think, about 5 or 7 years after the competition started. The local courts partnered with us, and it moved on to the OECS reading competition. And I think Dominica was the first winner of the OECS reading competition. I think it was a student from either Massac or Pioneer Prep. I cannot Massac. Yeah, Reela. I think it was, no, Reela was the first winner of the first, right. Reela was the winner of the very first competition. OECS, yes. OECS was from Massac. The first competition, the winner of the first OECS competition was from Dominica. And that grew and grew and grew.
Just hold on. I'll call you back in a while. I'll call you back in a while as we get set. But this is important as we sort of bring you the journey to where we are from 2008. So our next reader comes from the school Senecal Primary School. Make her feel welcome. Kiara John. And she looks meticulous and serious. Whenever you're ready.
Anansi stepped off the cruise ship and took off his party hat. "Where's the party?" he shouted. Then he listened for the sound of calypso and reggae music. What he heard was silence. Anansi sniffed the air and licked his lips, expecting to smell aromas of tropical foods in the air. But no foods were cooking. "Where's the party?" shouted Anansi. "Where are the bright colors? Where are the happy people? I brought my party hat and want to eat, sing and dance to calypso and reggae music." Anansi had been to this island in the Caribbean many times before and always had a good time. Now the island was quiet. The people were dressed in dark clothing. No singing or music could be heard. No smells of food were in the air. Usually, the people loved to see Anansi. He was known for his quick wit and his fun stories. Right now, the people were pressing their fingers to their lips and telling him to shh. "What's wrong with everyone?" asked Anansi. "I came to the party and you all keep telling me to shh." "It's the snake," one islander finally whispered as he looked with fear towards the jungle. In the middle of the jungle lives a giant snake, a python. It is larger than any snake we have ever seen. It ate most of the jungle animals. It also ate most of our cows and the pigs. The python also eats people who come too close to where he lives by the river. If we cook our island foods, the snake smells it and comes to eat. If we play music or sing and play calypso and reggae, the snake hears and comes to the party. If we dress in our bright clothes, he sees us and comes to us. We are afraid. There will be no parties on the island until the snake is gone. Anansi looked around and saw everyone's head bobbing up and down sadly. "Where is this snake?" shouted Anansi. "I will kill the snake."
All right.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes, right. The only Kalinago in the competition.
No.
No, how many more we have now?
I believe Sansove.
Sansove is Sansove?
Yes, and
Where's
also
Sansove?
Lighthouse.
Oh, Lighthouse.
Yes.
Lighthouse, I apologize, but I'm telling you.
No, we have different blends. Yes.
Yes, it's Kalinago.
It's still Kalinago.
So, Mr. Gis, very importantly, we have seen several students from the reading competition excelling at the grade 6 exams. How do you assess the reading competition and the growth?
Yes, as you rightly said, I believe every student who won the competition have gone on to attain scholarships at the... Every student who have won the reading competition have gone on to attain scholarships at the grade 6 national assessment. And even beyond that, they have performed credibly at the CSEC exams, which is about 5 years after the grade 6 national assessment. So yes, the reading competition actually helps students. And in some schools, you can actually see the competition among the students. Some schools I know have difficulties in selecting the readers because they have so many excellent readers. So they have their own in-house competitions. Yeah, but I must say that this competition is growing and growing and growing. And I should mention that when Cots pulled out of the competition, I think 2 or 3 years ago, the Office of the Prime Minister stepped in and helped.
Okay, hold on. We'll talk about the Office of the Prime Minister when we get in set. Milia! We are getting set for the next.
You know, if I didn't know better, I would say you are BBC announcer, boy.
We get in. Curtis Matthew is there.
Yes.
And Curtis Matthew is the boss.
That is correct. But let me just say, for those of you who are sitting at the back, there are seats available, so you can find yourself an available seat. But we are continuing nonetheless.
We're heading to number 6.
Number 6. This afternoon's competition from the Roosevelt Douglas Primary School, Amelia Deborn.
Make her feel welcome. Wow, the whole school is there, man.
Anansi stepped off the cruise ship and took off his party hat. "Where's the party?" he shouted. Then he listened for the sound of calypso and reggae music. What he heard was silence. Anansi sniffed the air and licked his lips, expecting to smell aromas of tropical foods in the air. But no foods were cooking. "Where's the party?" shouted Anansi. "Where are the bright colors? Where are the happy people? I brought my party hat and want to eat, sing and dance to calypso and reggae music." Anansi had been to this island in the Caribbean many times before and always had a good time. Now, the island was quiet. People were dressed in dark clothing. No singing or music could be heard. No smells of food were in the air. Usually, people loved to see Anansi. He was known for his quick wit and his fun stories. Right now, the people were pressing their fingers to their lips and telling him to shh. "What's wrong with everyone?" he asked. "I came to party and you all keep telling me to shh." "It's the snake," one islander finally whispered as he looked with fear towards the jungle. In the middle of the jungle lives a giant snake, a python. It is larger than any snake we have ever seen. It ate most of the jungle animals. It also ate most of our cows and the pigs. The python also eats people who come too close to where he lives by the river. If we cook our island foods, the snake smells it and comes to eat.
if we play music or sing and play calypso and reggae, the snake hears and comes to the party. If we dress in our bright colors, he sees us and comes to us. We are afraid. There will be no parties on the island until the snake is gone. Anansi looked around and saw everyone's head bobbing up and down sadly. Where is the snake? Shouted Anansi. I will kill the snake.
Let it go! For the Roosevelt Douglas Primary School. Yes. Seba!
D-ball.
Okay, so Mr. Gates, courts pulled out and they...
Okay, so as I was saying, a few years ago when cuts pulled out, the Office of the Prime Minister stepped in to provide sponsorship for the competition because even at the highest level, we realize, we recognize the importance of reading and the importance of this competition and the value of this competition. But I would like to, with the permission of the General Manager at the back, Mr. Curtis Matthew, I want to say that this competition is a very costly one. In fact, I think it costs over $50,000, Mr. Matthew. So I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the Ministry of Education and DBS Radio, and this is Felix Henderson, to ask the corporate citizens to come on board and help. So next year we will be reaching out to some of you. We will be reaching out to some of you with a proposal for your sponsorship. But before I leave, Ministry of Education, no coupon, Creole important. Ça c'est langue maman nous. Nous parlons more. So what we have decided, we have worked with KEC. And there is a curriculum that has been developed. And hopefully from September, the new school year, we're hoping to introduce that into our schools. So we will have some training during the summer, and we're still in discussion, but hopefully we will play our part to keep the Creole language alive.
Creole in schools from September.
Hopefully.
No. Creole in schools from September.
Creole in schools from September.
Dino San Amelia. One of the dreams of Felix Henderson. Okay, we're getting set for our next reader, Amelia. Introduce.
Yes, our next reader comes from the St. Luke's Primary. We welcome to the reading podium, it is John Baptist.
Make him feel welcome.
Anansi stepped off the cruise ship and took off his party hat. "Where's the party?" he shouted. Then he listened for the sound of calypso and reggae music. What he heard was silence. Anansi sniffed the air and licked his lips, expected to smell aromas of tropical foods in the air. But no foods were cooking. "Where's the party?" shouted Anansi. "Where are the bright colors? Where are the happy people? I brought my party hat and want to eat, sing, and dance to calypso and reggae music." Anansi had been to this island in the Caribbean many times before and always had a good time. Now, the island was quiet. The people were dressed in dark clothing. No singing or music could be heard. No smells of food were in the air. Usually, the people loved to see Anansi. He was known for his quick wit and his fun stories. Right now, the people were pressing their fingers to their lips and telling him to shh. "What's wrong with everyone?" asked Anansi. "I came to the party and you all keep telling me to shh." "It's a snake," one islander finally whispered as he looked with fear towards the jungle. In the middle of the jungle lives a giant snake, a python. It is as larger than any snake we have ever seen. It ate most of the jungle animals. It also ate most of our cows and pigs. The pythons also eat people who come too close to where he lives by the river. If we cook our island foods, the snake smells it and comes to eat. If we play music or sing and play calypso and reggae, the snake hears and comes to the party. If we dress in our bright clothes, he sees us and comes to us. We are afraid. There will be no parties on the island until the snake is gone. And Nancy looked around and saw everyone's head bobbing up and down, sadly. "Where is the snake?" shouted Anansi. "I will kill the snake."
Let it go!
For it is John Baptist from the St. Luke's Primary School.
That's a million getting tighter and tighter.
It is getting tighter as
It's
the
getting
round.
tighter and tighter.
Woo.
This is the Felix Henderson Ministry of Education National Reading Competition headline sponsor, Dragon Windows.
In collaboration, of course, with the Ministry of Education.
Okay.
So
Milia, you heard the news from the PS of Education?
You know what, I was expecting more. Woo!
Yes.
And I didn't get that.
Finally, we're going to get Creole in schools.
You
The
know-
Bamwaki there, the PS.
You know,
Hopefully,
funny
finally.
enough, just this afternoon, I was speaking with two retired folks from Florida who are navigating the Caribbean, and they stop here in Dominica before they go over to Grenada before the hurricane season. And one of the questions that they asked me, because I was speaking Creole on my phone, and they picked it up, was like, "Are they in your language in school?" I'm like, "Not yet." And here we get in the news
that we will
that the
in
possibility
September
exists as rare as
2025.
Yes, we should be happy.
No, but do you know that they once spoke Creole in Grenada?
Well, they still speak Creole in Grenada.
In certain sections of Grenada?
That's correct.
Okay, likewise Trinidad.
That is correct. We have Grenada, Trinidad, yes.
Then St. Lucia,
Then St. Lucia,
Dominica, in terms of the
Guadeloupe.
English.
Yes,
In terms
yes.
of the English speaking. So sometime in September.
Well, you know what, when they tell you the possibility exists, we have to make it possible.
No, well, Keck has been really feverishly putting a brand new dictionary, like you would know.
Yes, I would.
And there is a book, Anno Apuan Creole.
Yes.
Which is the book that we may use as the text, right? Anno Apuan Creole, where it's a guide to actually speak the language.
That's correct.
So hopefully,
And the dictionary.
and the brand new dictionary.
So you can see Felix smiling to this news.
Of course, man.
Yes.
Felix was the first chairman
Yeah, man.
of Keck.
Right?
He also was the first ever dictionary teamed up with people like Jamala and Sonia Akpa and Sonia Lloyd, Gregory Rabes.
Yes.
And there's and several other people to put a dictionary together. Did you know that Felix translated the 4 Gospels in Creole?
The 4 Gospels.
Yes. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, no, man.
Well, yes, but I'm like,
You didn't know?
well, I know, but I'm like, the 4 Gospels, I'm like, okay, to what extent?
He translated them. Okay, we're getting set.
We are getting set.
I like Fadul. When Fadul give me a sweet eyes, we know we're ready. We're getting set.
Yes, we are getting set.
By the way, myself and Fadul share the same birthday. We're going to church, Fadul. We're going to church next week,
Also,
Monday.
you are Mayborn.
What is up, sir?
Well, I know I am, and so you are, but I
What is up?
Yes, of course.
Myself and Joseph Fadul, we normally go to church.
That's on the 19th of May.
Next week, Monday.
Oh, I know that. I know that.
So we're getting set, Miller.
That is correct. We're getting set for our 8th reader representing the Ebenezer SDA Primary, Kira David.
Anansi stepped off the cruise ship and took off his party hat. Where's the party? He shouted. Then he listened for the sound of calypso and reggae music. What he heard was silence. Anansi sniffed the air and licked his lips, expecting to smell aromas of tropical foods in the air. But no foods were cooking. Where's the party? Shouted Anansi. Where are the bright colors? Where are the happy people? I brought my party hat and want to eat, sing, and dance to calypso and reggae music. Anansi had been to this island in the Caribbean many times before and always had a good time. No, the island was quiet. The people were dressed in dark clothing. No singing or music could be heard. No smells of food were in the air. Usually, the people loved to see Anansi. He was known for his quick wit and his fun stories. Right now, the people were pressing their fingers to their lips and telling him to shh. What's wrong with everyone? Asked Anansi. I came to party and you all keep telling me to shh. It's the snake, one islander finally whispered as he looked with fear towards the jungle. In the middle of the jungle lives a giant snake, a python. It is larger than any snake we have ever seen. It ate most of the jungle animals. It also ate most of our cows and the pigs. The python also eats people who come too close to where he lives by the river. If we cook our island foods, the snake smells it and comes to eat. If we play music or sing and play calypso and reggae, the snake hears and comes to party. If we dress in our bright colors, he sees us and comes to us. We are afraid. There will be no more parties on the island until the snake is gone. Anansi looked around and saw everyone's head bobbing up and down sadly. Where is this snake? Shouted Anansi. I will kill the snake.
All yes.
Right.
Yes. Zibo.
Zibo.
I tell you.
By the end of this exercise, this snake will be definitely dead.
Believe it or not, the only little, well, I will say that after the first round. What genres of music missing besides the calypso and the reggae?
You know. We know. No. That's not where we're going.
Okay. Besides, I'm not sure if you're familiar with, do you know the positions Felix held at DBS Radio?
Felix held position as, he would have acted.
Acted as what?
Program director.
Program director.
He would have had the position of production manager.
That is towards the end, yes.
Towards the end, he would have the position of senior announcer. Other than the reporter, he would have done a little news.
He started off as an English news reporter.
That is correct.
He was also once an acting general manager.
That too.
Can you recall some of the projects he did as production manager at DBS Radio?
Well, oh my God, Felix would have produced so much, but I remember the one when
48 hours in prison.
48 hours in prison when he went.
Can you recall this one?
When he went to the prison, yes, and acted as an inmate. Yes, I remember this one.
For an inmate, he acted as an inmate for how many hours?
For 48 hours, 2 days.
Imagine Felix Henderson stayed in the prison to find out everything going on in the prison for 2 days so that he could now report to the general public. What a guy. I mean, so creative. Can you recall, Milia, he also had Under the Stars.
And Sky.
And Sky.
Yes.
Where he roamed the streets of the capital.
As a vagrant.
As a vagrant.
Yes.
Not even vagrants could recognize him. Are we ready? Okay, not even vagrants could recognize him.
Not even the ordinary people who knew Felix
could recognize him.
And of course, he always commended his daughter, I believe, who did the...
Is she here? I swear I saw Grace.
She would have done the makeup.
Oh, Grace is there. Grace.
Yes.
Amazing Grace. The daughter of Senior Felix Henderson is there.
Yes.
Also, he did a special documentary, To Serve with Love, where he looked at the service in Dominica. We get it set for number 9, Milia?
Yes, we are. As we call to the reading podium once again, Amelia Roll, representing the Benz Primary School.
Anansi stepped off the cruise ship and took off his party hat. "Where's the party?" he shouted. Then he listened for the sound of calypso and reggae music. What he heard was silence. Anansi sniffed the air and licked his lips, expecting to smell aromas of tropical foods in the air. But no foods were cooking. "Where's the party?" shouted Anansi. "Where are the bright colors? Where are the happy people? I brought my party hat and want to eat, sing, and dance to calypso and reggae music." Anansi had been to this island in the Caribbean many times before and always had a good time. No, the island was quiet. The people were dressed in dark clothing. No singing or music could be heard. No smells of food were in the air. Usually, the people loved to see Anansi. He was known for his quick wits and his fun stories. Right now, the people were pressing their fingers to their lips and telling him to shh. "What's wrong with everyone?" asked Anansi. "I came to party, and you all keep telling me to shh." "It's the snake," one islander finally whispered as he looked with fear towards the jungle. In the middle of the jungle lives a giant snake, a python. It is larger than any snake we have ever seen. It ate most of the jungle animals. It also ate most of our cows and the pigs. The python also eats people who come too close to where he lives by the river. If we cook our island foods, the snake smells it and comes to eat. If we play music or sing and play calypso and reggae, the snake hears and comes to the party. If we dress in our bright clothes, he sees us and comes to us. We are afraid there will be no parties on the islands until the snake is gone." Anansi looked around and saw everyone's head bobbing up and down sadly. "Where is the snake?" shouted Anansi. "I will kill the snake."
Hey, Papa. Yes. Sibo.
Amelia Roll, from the Benz Primary School.
Sticks are obligé more. This is the Felix Henderson Ministry of Education National Reading Competition headline sponsor.
Dragon Windows.
Dragon Windows.
As our final reader.
So, Amelia, you're explaining to our audience one of Felix.
Many productions.
Yes, To Serve
with Love.
With love. And very importantly, this is a very critical documentary where he dealt with the service, customer service, and all those who may be accustomed with whatever service we get throughout Dominica. Felix examined that. He touched on our weaknesses and he brought it to the fore so we could educate ourselves about the service we render to our customers. To serve with love.
With love.
Felix went as far as looking at the last enemy. Milia, can you imagine this one?
Death.
Death. Imagine, but the level of spirituality Felix had. He knew where he was going. So if you do not know where you're going, you might not understand life after death. But Felix's creativity was beyond just the ordinary man. He did a documentary on life after death. He also took a look at the 60 and up.
Yes.
Which he dedicated to the elderly.
Yes.
And that is the caliber of the brother. Our final
reader
in the first round.
It goes to, or should I say, we call to the reading podium from the Pitted 7 Primary School.
Pitted 7!
Malik Smith.
Primary School.
Anansi stepped off the cruise ship and took off his party hat. "Where's the party?" he shouted. Then he listened for the song of calypso and reggae music. What he heard was silence. Anansi sniffed the air and licked his lips, expecting to smell aromas and tropical foods in the air. But no foods were cooking. "Where's the party?" shouted Anansi. "Where are the bright colors? Where are the happy people? I brought my party hat and want to eat, sing, and dance to calypso and reggae music." Party hat and Anansi had been to this island in the Caribbean many times before and always had a good time. Now, the island was quiet. The people were dressed in dark clothing. No singing or music could be heard. No smells of food were in the air. Usually, the people loved to see Anansi. He was known for his quick wit and his fun stories. Right now, the people were pressing their fingers to their lips and telling him to shh. "What's wrong with everyone?" asked Anansi. "Lips, I came to party and you all keep telling me to shh." "It's the snake," one islander whispered as he looked with fear towards the jungle. "In the middle of the jungle lives a giant snake, a python. It is larger than any snake we have ever seen. It ate most of the jungle animals. It also ate most of our cows and the pigs. The python also eats people who come too close to where he lives by the river. If we cook our island's food, the snake smells it and comes to eat. If we play music or sing and play calypso and reggae, the snake hears and comes to the party. If we dress in our bright clothes, he sees us and comes to us. We are afraid. There will be no parties on the island until the snake is gone." Anansi looked around and saw everyone's head bobbing up and down sadly. "Where is this snake?" shouted Anansi. "I will kill the snake."
Yes.
Malik Smith from the Pitted 7 Primary School. As we've now concluded round 1, the narrative round, this final of the DBS Radio Felix Henderson Ministry of Education National Reading Competition.
Ladies and gentlemen, teachers, a massive round of applause for all the readers. Okay.
Yes.
Milia.
Yes, Morix.
Anansi, I have no idea what he's missing out with some serious cadence and bouillon.
You know, it's cadence and bouillon, you know.
Anansi only dance reggae.
Well, I guess it's which Caribbean. He says Caribbean.
Jamaica.
I guess it's which Caribbean country Anansi went to. But had he come to Dominica,
It would have been
bouillon.
Some wicked bouillon.
And cadence.
Okay, so we are now going to call on the
NCCU
representative,
yes,
marketing manager of NCCU. A round of applause for
Mrs.
Shari.
Thank you, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Et puis tout ce que ça qui passe là, moi ni pour dire titak. Moi m'a parlé comme mille et puis wa dit que ça c'est boss là. Massa fait ça, moi ça fait un petit bagay, mais tout ça moi ni pour dire massa dit à quoi so moi que aller anglais. Good afternoon. I bring you greetings from your community financial partner, the NCCU. We are here because we have readers too. How many of you voted online? How many of you voted for our readers online? Okay, so you have a chance to vote for them this afternoon. NCCU, we are here as a sponsor of the reading competition. We are very happy to be on board. But more than that, We are here because we want to participate in everything that our membership is involved in. Because how can we provide you with products and services if we don't understand what you do, what you enjoy, what you're good at? We want to understand that. So we have been part of the competition from the semifinals. And thanks to the members who voted, we have 3 finalists who are going to read this afternoon. So of course they're not competing against the students, but against themselves. And there's a big bragging rights thing going on at work, where everybody is rooting for the person from their department, the person from their branch. So we are encouraging you, please, at the end of the competition, we will be putting out the voting link because, yes, we will be awarding the winner first, second, third today. So at the end of the competition, please look out for the link. We will share it on the live, on the Nation Station Live. We will also share it on our social media. So we're encouraging you to listen and then go out and vote for the winner, or winners, because they're all winners. But you will help us to decide who, well, you will decide who will walk away with first, second, and third place at NCCU Tries DBS Radio Felix Henderson Reading Competition. So you may have wondered why we're here. This is why we're here. We are part and parcel of the entire thing. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So we are going to allow them to read, Milia?
We are going to allow them to read. But like I always say, we make no exception when it comes to them. We treat them the same way we would treat our little readers. So there are no exception for them. They would have gone through the material. Of course, they would ask for assistance. As you can see, Ms. Jacob assisting them. There may be names or words they may not be familiar with. They have the right to call for assistance. They have the same allotted time to go through the reading material. As of now, Ms. Jacob should be taking back their papers. In fact, I think they should have less time. But other than that, they go by the same rule. But remember, this year, it's all about reading and calypso. So Wadex will have a little bit of calypso entertainment a little later this afternoon.
PA 1230, PA 1230, you are blocking Curtis Matthew, and he needs to get out for an urgent measure. PA 1230. PA 1230. You are blocking the next PAL rep from Monjon Rivesiwick. He needs to get out for a short emergency. Right.
Yes.
We get it set. NCCU.
Yes, Wadex. It's now. We are ready for NCCU Tries. And the first reader this afternoon, her name is Nicole George. Let's make her feel welcome.
John.
George.
DBS News.
After a deadline extension and an age range inclusion, the National Cooperative Credit Union Limited has presented the top 3 students in its 10th anniversary creative expression through art school competition with their prizes. Sydney Etienne of the Baroness Patricia Scotland Primary School, Nilton Valmont of the Trafalgar Primary School, and Corenza Joseph, also of the Baroness Patricia Scotland Primary School, triumphed in first, second, and third place respectively. Mr. Alma Irish, Chief Executive Officer of the NCCU, also encouraged the students who have aspirations to become artists to continue working at it and reaffirm that NCCU believes in community and individual development, and that if we do well, the country will do well.
All right, and that was Nicole George, our first reader in this afternoon's competition for NCCU Tries. I'm not sure if that story was selected especially for you because you're reading all about NCCU. So this one was right in your bracket. However, we move on to the next reader. And NCCU tries, we call on Naira Remy.
Baker Phil, welcome.
DBS News.
On Friday, September 29, 2023, your community financial partner, the National Cooperative Credit Union, launched Kids in Culture. The institution, being concerned about the decline in the vivacity and presence of our Dominican culture among the youth, felt the immense need as it continues to rebrand and reshape not just the look, but the feel of the NCCU to pay attention to the preservation of the Dominican culture. Honorable Minister for Education, Octavia Alfred, commended the NCCU for making the effort to help not only preserve but also augment the visibility of the Dominican culture and expressed that if anything is to be adopted, it must be introduced early, like with the Kids in Culture program.
All right, and that was Naira Remy.
Let it go! Lubangatanzo.
I know. And we now call on the third reader for the NCCU tries, Samin Daru.
Baker Phil, welcome, Dominica.
DBS News.
On Friday, September 27, 2024, the National Cooperative Credit Union and Nevis Cooperative Credit Union signed the framework for the first of its kind collaboration across the Caribbean region. General Manager of NCCU Nevis, Sydney Newton, and Chief Executive Officer of NCCU Dominica, Curve Charles, both expressed delight at the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding, stating that this collaboration will greatly benefit the membership of both credit unions. The credit unions feel elated to pioneer this move into shared services, and with the reality of each institution's membership spanning across the region, their eyes are set on further extending this service to other countries in the not-so-distant future.
Let it go!
Daru. So these are the first three readers in the NCCU tries this afternoon. As you would have heard, you will get an opportunity, of course, to vote for the best reader, and they will be presented with their prizes as based on their performance here this afternoon. So, readers, well, I would love to vote for you guys, but that's not the platform. So we want to thank you so much, and we will see each other in just a little while as the voting will open a little later. We give the opportunity to...
Let it go once again for the NCCU readers.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Well, that's another thing Felix would have loved, you know, because he advocated for adult education, reading, and literacy among adults.
Okay, we're getting set for round number 2.
Our participants, they are still reading their
They're
material.
just perusing.
Yes, so they're given an opportunity.
I understood our last year's winner
yes.
is here.
Miss Catalia Popon.
Are you here?
She's right there.
Where is she?
She was sitting in the middle. She would have shifted somewhat. She stepped out maybe.
Allow her to come, man. Tell her hello and hi to us.
She's coming.
She's coming.
Yes, she is.
Last year's winner.
Walking
A round of applause for last year's winner of the reading competition. How are you today?
I'm fine, thanks.
Have you listened to all the readers today?
Yes, I have.
And what you think of the readers so far?
So far, they're doing okay, and we'll just see what happens.
Okay, from after you won last year, you continue to read, right?
Yep.
What would you like to tell young people your age to encourage them to read more, because you are listened to and viewed live on DBS Radio from Africa to Australia. All over the world, people are watching you. So what would you like to tell your young people to encourage them to read?
Well, when you read, you get smart and you pass your exams and you get a degree, you get a scholarship, you will have a very high-paying job because you have a master's degree and you've been reading a lot, so it gives you information about how to have a steady life and all. And even though reading is not just for information, it's also for entertainment. There are comic books and comedy books that you can read for your entertainment when you're bored.
How old are you?
I am 9 years old.
My word, a round of applause. Amelia, come and give a little hug. She's brilliant, young lady. Young girl, my dear. Wow, congratulations.
Success beyond her years.
Yes.
Yes.
She already talking about master's degree.
And the only way you can attain that is if you read.
And if you want to read for entertainment, you can read comics.
And if you want a high-paying job, learn to read.
If you want a high-paying job, which is very necessary those days,
yes,
you have to learn to read. What books you read, Milia, for entertainment? Or do you still read, Milia?
Meals and Boons.
Huh?
My entertainment. Meals and Boons.
Meals and Boons.
That's correct. That was a different level of entertainment for me. I'm not
about
sure.
what? About what?
You know what it was about? What?
No, I know about Hardy Boys.
Okay, Meals and Boons.
I know about Archie.
Okay, Meals and Boons.
I know about Commando. Tell us about Meals and Boons.
Meals and Boons was more on the romantic side.
Oh! Romantic entertainment.
That is correct.
How was it?
Entertaining.
Did it encourage you to read more?
Yes.
You know, we still have we still follow, I'm not sure if you're familiar with lending books.
Yes, from the library.
So you would have one book, not
Right.
from the library, but you could lend your friend a book.
Okay. Yes.
And you would end up reading the whole series by
As-
just borrowing books. Mr. Alvin Knight. Mr. Alvin Knight, one of the first broadcasters, I would like you to stand, sir. One of the first broadcasters in Dominica, and I must herald this man. A round of applause for him. One of the first ever broadcasters from DBS Radio. Welcome to you, sir, and your beautiful wife. This is Mr. Alvin Knight. They used to call him Knight in the Morning. So we're getting set. Are we ready? Where's our indicator? Okay. So far, so good, Milia.
So far, so good.
We need to be, according to Curtis Matthew, we should be out of here by 6 o'clock.
That is correct.
That's because we have the news major, and we should be in for winner by 6 o'clock. So you're going to get some headphones, I think.
Yes, so again, the readers will all be reading the same material. So they'll be all given a headpiece or headset where sound will be, of course, coming through this headset so they will not hear what the other or the reader is reading at that given time. So we have 9 headsets. Well, 9 technically, because the first one will not need it. And as we go along, we'll have less and less. But, so here they are being presented with their headsets.
But best on round one, very confident.
Wow.
Very, very confident readers.
You know, people used to always say, there's this cliche that says, I'm happy I'm not a judge. But this afternoon, I can tell you, the judges have quite a difficult task. Would you agree? The level of reading here.
But I am just blown away at the preparation level.
Yes.
The teachers, a round of applause again, man, for the teachers, man.
And parents too.
And parents.
Yes, yes.
Because there are some parents that are teachers.
That's
You aware
true.
of that?
Yes, of course.
I can see one right in front of me.
There are a few of them. There are a few of them. Yes.
Okay, so they are now getting your final. If you did not know, this is Joseph Fadul, DJ Hello Boy.
Yes.
And he's just giving some final instructions for round 2. We're going to go with the DBS News.
The DBS News.
The DBS, the winner, by the way, normally gets an opportunity to read live on DBS Radio, the DBS Newscast.
Yes, that is correct.
That's one of the incentives.
That is one of the incentives, yes.
Absolutely. We have to remind our viewers and listeners, this is the Felix Henderson Ministry of Education, national, or rather headline, national reading competition, headline, partner and sponsor, Dragon Windows.
But of course, Modex, I want to take this opportunity to thank the other partners and sponsors, the likes of Jay's Bookstore, OT Trucking and Septic Cleaners, Ruben's Bakery, Macmillan Service Station, APP Electricals, Lafayette's Medical Lab, West Coast Cooperative Credit Union, the National Cooperative Credit Union, Petro Caribe, Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, Peanuts Mountains Resort, Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Dominica Electricity Services, Lindo Mart, Jungle Bay, AC Shillingford and Company Limited, Perky's Pizza, Dominica Water and Sewage Company Limited, Duasco, FRX Express Diesel, Fine Foods Inc., Central Cooperative Credit Union, Shewen Cuisine, and yes, I already said AC Shillingford. So these are our partners and sponsors. We thank you so much, but we are ready for round two, the reading of the news. Our judges are ready, the students are set, and we call now on the very first reader representing
Lighthouse Christian Academy,
Miss Kelly Paris.
Make her feel welcome.
Please wait for the intro.
DBS News.
Minister for Education, Otavia Alfred, says the government of Dominica has contributed over $400,000 to early childhood institutions during the last academic year. Her comments came during the official handover ceremony of the Early Childhood Development Space at Caleb Laura Primary School in St. Joseph, which was established as part of the OECS Pearl Project. Meanwhile, Director General of the OECS, Dr. Didokas Jules, says the OECS Pearl Initiative aims to enhance access to education for the most vulnerable learners.
Yes!
Kelly Paris from the Lighthouse Christian Academy.
Also, Digicel is one of our partners. They sponsored the line here so we could carry the proceedings live.
Yes.
Okay. Did you know? Did you know that Felix Henderson was also involved in the production of a handbook on writing Creole? Palais Creole, Dominique.
Yes.
Also, Basil.
My favorite.
Basil was what? A book or an ad, or both a book and an ad?
Both.
Right.
I still have the little piece of basil, in fact.
Right. More did you know, Miller, for you? Did you know? He also penned an autobiography entitled Because You Are With Me. And that book was launched October 16, 2020. A few weeks after he went to meet his maker.
Yes.
But one of his dreams was to leave us with a book. And the name of that book, and you can support Chris, should be here with a few copies of his book, Because You Are With Me. Can you recall, Milia, some of the aims and objectives of this reading competition?
Felix Henderson, well, if I remember correctly, like I said a while ago, he was an advocate for literacy. And this was one of the reasons why, you know, he would have established such a remarkable event, the reading competition, to promote literacy. And he would have worked, like I said, initially, before this reading competition, he would have worked among adults. And he saw it fit. You know why? While we need literacy among adults, because some, of course, some adults did not get the opportunity to be to have gotten that opportunity while they were young. So he started with adults. But again, he would have seen the need to start from scratch. So instead of waiting till you're an adult, he decided, let's start while you're young. So if you can start reading while you're young, of course, there will be no need for learning to read while you're an adult. So one of them was, of course, to promote literacy.
Okay, we're ready?
We are ready
for number 2.
Number 2.
To read the news live at the Goodwill Parish Hall.
From the Berean
This
Christian Academy.
is DBS Radio.
We call Jahid Walsh.
Make him feel welcome.
DBS News.
Ministry for Education, Octavia Alfred, says the government of Dominica has contributed over $400,000 to early childhood instructions during the academic year. Her comments came during the official handover ceremony of the Early Childhood Development Space at the Caleb Laru Primary School in St. Joseph, which was established as part of the OECS Pearl Project. Meanwhile, Director General of the OECS, Dr. Didicus Jules, says the OECS Pearl Initiative aims to enhance access to education for the most vulnerable learners.
This was the DBS News, brought to you by Jahid Walsh of the Berean Christian Academy number 2. As the judges continue to tabulate, we do not live like it's DBS,
No. Well, of course.
So we take it off your announcements. More announcements. This time is on Felix Henderson. Okay. Did you know he did numerous groundbreaking interviews in Creole, such as the first live interview with an actual HIV patient?
Yes.
Okay. Let us go to another. Did you know? From Stephen Nangleben. Is he around? Can you recall the first ever reading competition, Milia? Do you remember how many participants in total represented?
Well, I will be honest with you. That year, I was not on island.
It was not 60. Because you know how many participants we had in 2025 when we started off?
2025? No, that's 2008.
No, I'm talking about this year. So we can compare.
Oh.
We can compare to when we started. 94. When we started this year, how many participants? How many?
40 plus.
44. But when we started in 2008, we started off with 60 pupils, 60 participants.
But that is because most of the primary schools were represented, Warix.
So why some of them are not represented?
Well, that is a debate that we will have to continue.
Mr. Gis, we are ready? We are ready.
Yes, why?
For newsreader, number 3.
From the Sansova Primary School, Imani Prevo, in news.
DBS News.
Minister for Education, Octavia Alfred, says the government of Dominica has contributed over $400,000 to early childhood institutions during the last academic year. Her comments came during the official handover ceremony of the Early Childhood Development Space at Caleb Laura Primary School in St. Joseph, which was established as part of the OECS Pearl Project. Meantime, Director General of the OECS, Dr. Didicus Jules, says the OECS Pearl initiative aims to enhance access to education for the most vulnerable learners.
From the beautiful community of Sansove,
Imoni Privo.
This was the 14-15 Total News.
Yes,
brought to you with the kind compliments of
the Nation Station
and Dragon Windows.
Yes.
So that was
Imoni Privo.
Imoni Privo.
Yes.
More did you know, Milia? More did you know? Did you know that Felix Henderson taught Creole to the Peace Corps volunteers for over 35 years?
Yes.
I mean, this is phenomenal. There are some visitors coming to Ireland, coming to Dominica from the US, and in a little time they would learn Creole. Felix spent 35 years teaching the Peace Corps volunteers to speak the language while we in Dominica refuse to speak the Creole. Masa pourquoi? Do you know Felix Henderson was a cricketer, an under-19 youth player for Dominica?
Yes, I did.
What basketball teams Felix Henderson played for?
Would it have been, is it pros?
Bata Pros from South City Grand Bay. He actually won a championship in the 2nd division. Did you know that Felix Henderson also had a project to feed the unfortunate citizens of our nation hot meals in the city? Another phenomenal project by the brother. That's why we have to continue in his memory. Okay, we get it set, Milia?
Yes, for fourth reader in the DBS news. From the Pioneer Prep, we welcome again Sunny Laville. Number 4 is Sunny.
DBS News.
Minister for Education, Octavia Alfred, says the government of Dominica contributed over $400,000 to early childhood institutions during the last academic year. Her comments came during the official handover ceremony of the Early Childhood Development Space at Caleb Laura Primary School in St. Joseph, which was established as part of the OECS PUL project. Meanwhile, Director General of the OECS, Dr. Didakas Jules, says the OECS PUL's initiative aims to enhance access to education for the most vulnerable learners.
This was the DBS News.
Presented by Sunny Laville.
A round of applause. Yes, you could make your way to your seat. Curtis Matthew, you have some talent, my brother. You have some talent for the news. Okay. What last did you know? You want to make sure they're hearing music?
You know what, I'm seeing a few of them digging the vibes. Look at her. So
What-
I wanted
what
to.
vibes now? What vibes
I
now?
wanted to Here you go, Wadix. I really wanted to know what's going on, and you know what has a. Yes.
That sounded like Christmas music.
That's not Christmas, Mrs. Wadix. Wadix dance.
Para-pa-pam-pam.
Dance to what you're hearing.
Para-pa-pam-pam,
Let's
that's
dance to
Christmas.
what you're hearing.
Para-pa-pam-pam. That's Christmas music.
What is keeping them distracted nonetheless.
But she's enjoying it, and that's good.
Because she's not hearing what we're saying, Wadix.
That's good.
So I just wanted to test it for myself.
Okay.
Our next reader
is.
Okay, we're getting a little nod. No.
By the way, we want to remind our listeners and viewers, this is the
Felix Henderson at DBS Radio, Ministry of Education, national reading competition with headline sponsor Dragon Windows.
Let's complete some of our sponsors and partners, Milia.
Our sponsors would include OT Trucking and Septic Cleaners.
And we will do that in total in a while. But we're getting set for reader number 5.
Yes, we are.
And reader number 5 is from
the Cynical Primary
Cynical Primary School.
Kiaria John.
DBS News.
Minister for Education Octavia Alfred says the government of Dominica has contributed over $400,000 to early childhood institutions during the last academic year. Her comments came during the official handover ceremony of the Early Childhood Development Space at Caleb Lowry Primary School in St. Joseph, which was established as part of the OECS Pearl project. Meanwhile, Director General of the OECS, Dr. Dida Costa-Jules, says the OECS Pearl initiative aims to enhance access to education for the most vulnerable learners.
From Senegal, with love. Reading the 13-15 total news was
Kiaria John.
You sound like you're speechless, Bilia.
I am not speechless. I am just taken aback. A little
The
moment
quality.
of nostalgia just hit me.
The quality of the reading.
Yes, and when at the end of this round, what please remind me as to a certain something. I don't want to say it now. Okay?
You don't want to sound biased.
No, I won't sound biased.
Okay.
I won't. I just want to do it at the end.
As a media person working at national radio station, and you're in the quality of 9-year-old, 8 and 9-year-old reading.
Because I'm hearing the likes of Nazarene Gordon, I'm hearing so many...
Ivona John Baptist,
Luge, and so many folks who would have even...
Sherman
Brown, the late Fadina Frampton. I'm hearing all of this here this afternoon, if you know what I mean.
I mean, quite a bit. I mean, so much potential.
Yes. Yes.
And the articulation.
That is correct.
Man, so mature. I would like to hear veteran broadcaster Alvin Knight's views on what he has heard so far.
We'll give him that chance a little later.
But of course, man. I mean, the young pupils need to be encouraged as much as possible. Yes. And we're getting set as we get our tabulations together for the next reader from...
The next reader from the Roosevelt Douglas Primary, Amelia Debon.
Let it go!
DBS News.
Minister for Education, Octavia Alfred, says the government of Dominica has contributed over $400,000 to early childhood institutions during the last academic year. Her comments came during the official handover ceremony of the Early Childhood Development Space at Caleb Laurent Primary School in St. Joseph, which was established as part of the OECS Pearl project. Meanwhile, Director General of the OECS, Dr. Didacus Jules, says the OECS Pearl initiative aims to enhance access to education for the most vulnerable learners.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Amelia Debon.
From the Roosevelt Douglas Primary School.
Yes.
Anything significant about the name?
Well, Debon, I know Debon. There's a family, Debon in Grand Bay, if that's what you meant. Debon being a French name. What else is there, Warwick?
The school.
Oh, the Roosevelt Douglas Primary School, of course.
Named after?
The late Rosie Douglas.
What number was he in terms of Prime Minister?
In terms of Prime Minister?
Yes.
Well, to be quite...
The first was Patrick Roland John.
Yes.
The second was an interim.
Yes.
Who was that?
The
uncle, I think.
Seraphine.
Uncle of Natasha. Seraphine.
Seraphine, yes.
The third was a lady.
Was a lady, Miss Charles.
The only lady.
The late Miss Charles.
The fourth.
The fourth was Edison James.
The fifth.
Roosevelt Douglas.
The sixth.
Pierre Charles.
The seventh.
The current Prime Minister.
The eighth.
The current Prime Minister.
The ninth.
The current Prime Minister.
You said it, eh? We get it set as the judges.
Well, you said 8 and 9. I think it's still 7.
As the judges are tabulated, but was a freedom fighter, for those who don't know.
Oh, yes.
And actually took jail or was imprisoned. In Canada. And he promised the government whenever he returned to Canada, he would return as the Prime Minister. Did you know he brought our own Ivona John Baptist to the African continent? Burkina Faso. The late Roosevelt Douglas brought a team of journalists with him wherever you go. Next reader!
Our next reader comes from the St. Luke's Primary. It is John Baptist.
DBS News.
Minister for Education, Octavia Alfred says the government of Dominica has contributed over $400,000 to early childhood institutions during the last academic year. Her comments came during the official handover ceremony of the Early Childhood Development Space at Caleb Laura Primary School in St. Joseph, which was established as part of the OECS Pearl Project. Meanwhile, Director General of the OECS, Dr. Didacus Jules, says the OECS Pearl Initiative aims to enhance access to education for the most vulnerable learners.
Right, and that was it is John Baptist from the St. Luke's Primary School.
The 13-15 Total News brought to you live from the parish hall. Dragon Windows representative, can you come a while, please? Why not? You are the headline sponsors, and we want to show you some love. We want to show you some appreciation. We want to show you some gratitude. We are so thankful that you are headline sponsors. How are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm doing fine, Mila. You can borrow your mic for a while. We are privileged and we are so happy that Dragon Windows decided to sponsor. That's how many years now we are sponsoring the reading competition?
Well, this is our second year.
Second year?
Yes.
And how important you see it as your responsibility to partner with DBS for such an initiative?
Well, I mean, Dominica has been very good to Dragon Windows. And I mean, we see it as an opportunity to give back to our community. Reading is essential. It's very important. So, of course, we saw the opportunity to get behind this reading competition, and we are full on board with supporting and making sure that our young people are reading and promoting reading.
Some of your objectives in Dominica, we know it's a business, but then you are actually doing windows with resistance. We know that we are building those days with a high level of resistance since Maria. Tell us about your products. Okay, we'll get back to you in a while. Come and have a sit. Come and have a sit, Milia. We're getting set for the next newsreader, live on DBS Radio from the Goodwill Parish Hall.
Yes, and we call on the Ebenezer SDA Primary, Miss Kira Davey.
Make her feel welcome.
DBS News.
Minister for Education, Octavia Alfred, says the government of Dominica has contributed over $400,000 to early childhood institutions during the last academic year. Her comments came during the official handover ceremony of the early childhood development space at Caleb Laura Primary School in St. Joseph, which was established as part of the OACS Pearl project. Meanwhile, Director General of the OACS, Dr. Didakus Jules, says the OACS Pearl initiative aims to enhance access to education for the most vulnerable learners.
This was the DBS 1315 Total News.
Yes, Miss Kira David.
Okay. So once again, come to the fore. Let's make sure everyone sees you. We are trying to build back with a level of resilience. Tell us about your products in that regard.
Well, right now we are offering top of the line, best quality in terms of UPVC products, as well as thermal aluminum products. So with the thermal aluminum products, you have sleek, modern designs and looks. However, they can stand the toughest, the hardest, the strongest of hurricanes.
Category 5.
And beyond, if there
Category
is.
7.
If there is one.
Category 10.
If there is
okay,
one.
Dragon Windows is the Windows. I love that because we know what we went through with Maria.
Yes, and if you remember back in the day, right after Maria, you saw homes without no roofs, but they had the Dragon windows still
So
intact.
the windows were there, roofs gone.
Roof gone.
And that's testimony.
That is testimony.
Can we safely say you'll be sponsoring our event for a few years to come?
As long as they are called upon, we will try our best to serve.
So can we sign, wait, Curtis Matthew, can we sign a 5-year deal with Dragon Windows now?
We'll do our best.
Thank you very much. Let it go for our headline sponsor, Dragon Windows.
Yes. And if you look around, I don't want to say too much, but it looks like Dragon Windows work around here.
Yes.
Yes?
Is that Dragon Windows work? The windows?
Oh,
no.
I was trying to give them a...
How you know? Oh, you have a special resilience. We ready, Fadul? Okay, let's go.
All right, our next reader, coming from the Benz Primary School, we welcome Miss Amelia Rowe.
Hey, Coffee, welcome!
DBS News.
Minister for Education, Octavia Alfred, says the government of Dominica has contributed over $400,000 to early childhood institutions during the last academic year. Her comments came during the official handover ceremony of the early childhood development space at Caleb Laura Primary School in St. Joseph, which was established as part of the OACS Pearl project. Meanwhile, Director General of the OACS, Dr. Didakus Jules, says the OACS Pearl initiative aims to enhance access to education for the most vulnerable learners.
All right, and that was Amelia Rowe from the Benz Primary School.
Let it go.
We want to call on driver of vehicle registration PY609. You are obstructing traffic wherever you're parked at this time. You're asked to please remove your vehicle to allow the smooth flow of traffic. PY609, please remove your vehicle wherever you're parked to allow the smooth transition of traffic.
They look like real, I'm to my mic now all of a sudden. They look like real angels.
Yes.
So beautiful.
They are angels.
DBS need to follow their growth and development for the next 10 years.
That is correct.
Because like you heard from the PS, all of them that won the competition got scholarships.
And
But what we need to know is how many that took part that also got scholarships and follow their development because of the reading competition and the advent of reading.
That's correct. And as you mentioned, there are some parents who make it their duty to give us that information. If I remember correctly, I met Mr. Kenneth Barron just last week, who would have said, "Oh, you know, your girl writing CXC, you know," because Kenneth Barron would have won the competition, I think, in 2017, and she's now writing CXC. She too got a scholarship from the St. John's Primary, I believe she was representing at the time. So, yes, that is.
It would be good to follow the top 10.
Yes.
The finalists.
Yes.
And their progress at the various stages to the national assessment, then secondary, and be ready for our 10th.
Yes. And we call on our final reader in reading of the news from the Pettit 7 Primary School, Malik
Let
Smith.
it go!
DBS News.
Minister for Education, Octavia Alfred, says the government of Dominica has been contributing over $400,000 to early childhood institutions during the last year academic year. Her comments came during the official handover ceremony of the early childhood development space to Caleb Laura Primary School in St. Joseph, which was established as part of the OECS Pearl project. Meanwhile, Director General of the OECS, Dr. Didicus Jules, says the OECS Pearl initiative aims to enhance access to education for the most vulnerable learners.
Thank you so much, Mr. Malik Smith from the Pettit 7 Primary School. We have come to the end of the reading of the news. In a little while, they'll be presenting in sports. As we go back to the NCCU, as they try again, and this time they'll be reading finance news. So we call quickly because we have to cut off, of course, for 6 o'clock for the presentation of the DBS news. So
NCCU?
Yes, we're calling on NCCU.
Okay, so we now call on the participants from the NCCU to read second round. Let's try and hurry up. We have instructions to leave here by 6. So we need some chairs. Let's get some chairs for them. Okay. So NCCU. Let's go, Amelia.
Reading finance news. And if I may have missed my... But I believe our first reader reading finance news is Nicole George.
Infinity Cooperative Credit Union Jamaica Limited and
Hold on a while, just hold on a while. You have to wait for the insert. No insert? Okay, no insert. Okay, let's go.
Infinity Cooperative Credit Union Jamaica Limited, an entity born from the merger of Educom Cooperative Credit Union Limited and Gateway Cooperative Credit Union Limited, was officially launched on February 1. The new organization will be led by CEO Camille Campbell Drummond, who acted in that capacity at Educom Cooperative Credit Union since February 2024. Drummond said she is honored to lead such a diverse and competent team and thought the year ahead will have challenges. She is confident that Infinity Cooperative Credit Union Jamaica Limited is poised to navigate new paths and craft an exciting future. The head office of Infinity Cooperative Credit Union Jamaica Limited will be located at 10 Oxford Terrace, Kingston 5. There will be a total of 13 branches island-wide. strategically placed to adequately serve our valued members.
All right, and that was Nicole George in the presentation of Finance News from the NCCU. We call on our second reader, Naira Remy.
Make her feel welcome.
First Heritage Cooperative Credit Union is updating its customers regarding any irregular financial activities in the coming weeks following a recent FHC cyber attack that disrupted its database. The credit union disclosed in a member advisory issued on Wednesday that it had been grappling with resolving a system disruption since April 3rd, 2024. This cyber attack on the credit union had hampered FHC's access to certain information, causing delays in processing members' financial requests. As part of its ongoing efforts to upgrade security practices, FHC has initiated a password reset prompt for users of its iTransact banking platform. Additionally, automated tools are being employed to detect and prevent any suspicious activities across accounts and IT infrastructure. The credit union is actively cooperating with cybersecurity and law enforcement authorities in response to the incident.
Let it go!
Naira Remy in the Finance News. We call on the last reader, Samin Daru.
The 2025 United Nations International Year of Cooperatives theme will be Cooperatives Build a Better World, showcasing the enduring global impact cooperatives have everywhere. This theme puts a spotlight on how the cooperative model is an essential solution to overcome many global challenges and continues to play an important role in accelerating efforts to implement the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. The 2025 UN International Year of Cooperatives was officially launched at the ICA Global Cooperative Conference and General Assembly in New Delhi, India. The conference attracted delegates from over 100 countries who discussed how cooperatives build prosperity for all, focusing on 4 conference pillars: reaffirming the cooperative identity, enabling supportive policies, developing strong leadership, and building a sustainable future.
All right.
Let it go!
Samin Daru. NCCU tries.
We are getting set for the final round, William.
Yes, we are.
And the contestants or the participants are perusing through the script, and soon from now they will be into the final round. One of them will be the winner, but they are all winners.
Definitely. They have gotten this far, put in all the hard work, all the attempts and trials, going through from both parents and teachers to make it all the way to the finals. They are being put to the test one more time as we seek the best reader for 2025.
2025, during this reading competition, we lost several members who made tremendous contributions to Dominica. One recalls Kurt Matthew.
Yes.
This was a tough one for us. The MacGyver at DBS Radio in terms of equipment, in terms of getting us on and always on, and to remain on. We also lost Shemaine Green Brown after 40 plus years at DBS Radio, and this was a major one.
Yes, and of course the reason why we have the Felix Henderson reading competition the legendary, the icon,
Felix Henderson. Okay, so we're getting set for the final round. And by the way, there's no news. We were informed that 6 o'clock news will be
preempted.
will now be 7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
That is correct.
Okay, so we're getting set for our final round as the participants are now given their headsets to make sure that they don't hear the reader, and that's because the same script will be read by all the participants and will be judged. Our judges again, Milia?
Our judges here this afternoon would include Mr. Prince Saint-Jean.
Okay, Amelia. We're getting set for number 1.
We ready?
Yes.
I want to talk to my analysts. Mr. Analyst, are we ready?
Are we ready? Yes. Let's go.
Both thumbs up. And so we call on our first reader in this afternoon sports news from the Lighthouse Christian Academy, Kelly Paris.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Janae Bell of the Whitey Kubley Artists Association said she is honored to have been selected to design Dominica's King's Bateau. The bateau highlights many aspects of Dominica's culture and was unveiled on Thursday at the Dominica Olympic Committee's headquarters. Dominica's King's Bateau symbolizes its participation in the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. The Glasgow 2026 Games have adopted a unique feature. Each of the 74 Commonwealth nations and territories received a custom-designed bateau reflecting their unique cultures. The bateau will be reunited in Glasgow in 2026, where King Charles will read his message, officially opening the Games.
All right.
Yes.
Kelly Paris.
Representing
the
Lighthouse Christian Academy. And this was her final script.
That's correct.
So she can relax a little and wait on the judges. So we were going over the judges, Mila, just for those who may just be tuning in.
Before we go over to the judges, I want to appeal to those of you who are in the audience. Please remain silent. And I am unfortunately seeing the little ones moving up and down while we have readers reading. Please remain at bay when our readers have taken the stand. If you are moving, stop and allow the reader to read and then continue moving.
Again, and that's because we want every single participant to have a fair opportunity
to be heard.
To be heard. And judged
that's right.
fairly.
Okay.
Okay. So our judges, once again, 1 male, 4 females.
Yes, we have Mr. Prince Saint-Jean. We have Miss Ashma McDougall, Miss Edina Doughton. We also have Miss Natasha Henderson and Miss Durand. Paula Durand.
And I don't envy them today.
Not at all.
Because every single student, every single pupil represented the school and represented and continue to represent the school exemplary. And what I love about them is they're calm.
Yes.
They're poised, they're so cool and relaxed and comfortable for 8 and 9-year-olds.
Imagine us adults, the moment we have to take in a platform, a podium, or anything in public, we begin to freeze. And they're there, cool and calm, like you said, and ready to read. They weren't even dancing.
Yes, and she continues to dance. Is that confidence?
That is confidence.
Okay. So once again, we're just waiting on the judges, and as soon as they're ready, we are going to go through. We still have some guest artists. I think the Liberator Pan-Africanist is in the building. And at some point we will
hear from him.
Hear from him.
All right.
And we are ready.
We are ready for a second reader from the Berean Christian Academy, Jahid Walsh.
Make him feel welcome.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Jane Bell of the Y2 Kubuli Artists Association said she is honored to have been selected to design Dominica's King Baton. The baton highlights many aspects of Dominica's culture and was unveiled on Thursday at the Dominica Olympic Community's headquarters. Dominica's King Baton symbolizes its participation in the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. The Glasgow 2026 Games have adopted a unique feature. Each of the 74 Commonwealth nations and territories received a custom-designed baton reflecting their unique cultures. The batons will be reunited in Glasgow in 2026, where King Charles will read his message officially opening the Games.
All right.
Let us go.
Thank you so much, Jahid Walsh.
From the
Berean Christian
Academy.
Academy.
And that was his final script.
Final attempt.
Final attempt at winning the grand prize.
Yes.
What are some of the prizes, Milia? Are you aware?
I believe some of the students, well, the winner will receive cash prize for his or herself, as well as that of her school or his school. And there will also be...
In the amount of $10,000?
Well, I cannot tell you that. I just know it will be more than 1,000. Remember, Felix used to say there'll be 1,000 here by the end of this afternoon. Somebody will be 1,000 here this afternoon.
But every single participant finalist will
receive gifts. And the prizes, of course, complements our various sponsors. I do want to, of course, mention, Wadex, that the presentation, or I should say the prize-giving ceremony, will take place in September.
Okay.
Yes.
But we'll be crowning the winner
today
and the runner-ups today. That's good. Okay, fair enough. So we had two, and we're getting set for the third in the final round. And we're just getting the tabulations together. Once again, we have to remind you this is the Felix Henderson.
A DBS Radio Ministry of Education and National Reading Competition with headline sponsor Dragon Windows, but we have many more partners who came on board. The likes of Jay's Bookstore, OT Trucking and Septic Cleaners, Ruben's Bakery, Macmillan's Service Station, APP Electricals, the Lafayette Medical Lab, the West Coast Cooperative Credit Union, the National Cooperative Credit Union, Petro Caribe, Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, Peanuts Mountain Resort, Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited.
Okay, you can take a pause here and we'll continue right after our third.
From the Sansova
with
Primary
love.
School. We call again for the final time this afternoon, Imani Prefo.
Make her feel welcome. Yes. From Sansova with love.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Jane Bell of the YT Kubuli Artists Association said she is honored to have been selected to design Dominica's King Baton. The baton highlights many aspects of Dominica's culture and was unveiled on Thursday at the Dominica Olympic Committee's headquarters. Dominica's King's Baton symbolizes its participation in the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. The Glasgow 2026 Games have adopted a unique feature. Each of the 74 Commonwealth nations and territories received a custom-designed baton reflecting their unique cultures. The baton will be reunited in Glasgow in 2026, where King Charles will read his message, officially opening the games.
Make a feel welcome.
Imani Privo.
Imani Privo. Final script.
Yes, she can relax, like you said.
And you can now relax. Oh, job well done. Take a few deep breaths. You have represented your school well. Ms. Gis from DASPA.
Yes.
Can you say a little hello and hi to us? Up front.
She said hi.
From DASPA, one of our sponsors. We want to give you value for your hard-earned dollars that you place into the children. They are the ones that are going to be our future leaders. And we want the world to know your contribution. And I'll allow Milia to interview you today.
Thank you so much, Warwick. Good afternoon to you, Ms. Gis. Hi. Of course, it's a pleasure, like Warwick just mentioned, having DASPA coming on board within this venture, a time where we celebrate the works of the late, great Felix Henderson. What does it mean to DASPA, of course, coming on board during this venture?
It means a lot to us. It means we are contributing to our future generation, our future pilots, our future aviation and maritime professionals. So, of course, it means a lot to us, and we encourage education, even at our office. So we are very, very proud and thrilled to partner with DBS in this venture today.
You know, while you are thrilled in this, I mean, of course, for your contribution, but you, of course, would like to know how far your contribution is going. How do you feel about what you've seen here this afternoon?
I'm very impressed. I have actually been following it from day one, so it's not our first time that we're attending the competition for the season. And from day one to now, they have already grown so much. Because, I mean, I'm seeing a few of the students I saw from day one, and my goodness, you all are really, really amazing. You know, their confidence level have improved so tremendously over the past few weeks, and it's really, really amazing to look at.
But as we continue, of course, to finalize and create a concrete collaboration for our various partners, can we expect the same?
Of course.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, representative from DASPA.
Yes.
Merci April. We are getting set for
our fourth reader,
who is not here. And let's hope that he just had a slight little break for...
I believe he was having a little difficulty with his headpiece.
He is?
With his headset.
Oh, so that's why...
And so he had to step out.
So let's wait.
So we...
In the meantime, we can have a chit-chat. So far, so good, Milia.
So far, so good.
When the final curtain comes down on this reading competition, it will be historic.
It will be for many, many reasons, of course.
One of those are?
Again, we are here honoring the work of the late Felix Henderson. I mean, again, we'd have heard so many times that it was his brainchild, but to actually this year place emphasis on his contribution towards literacy, yes, it will go down in history.
Absolutely, and I mean, what I've heard so far in this particular competition, I can sense the growth. And, you know, I'm just amazed at how relaxed they are and how composed they are. They are in a competition. I saw big men singing calypso and they're trembling. Okay, we're ready. Big men singing calypso and they kakabuin. Okay.
And forgetting the words. All right. So we have our fourth reader. Who goes by the name of Sunny Laville.
From
the Pioneer Prep.
Pioneer Prep.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Janae Bell of the YT Kubuli Artists Association said she is honored to have been selected to design Dominica's King's Bateau. The bateau highlights many aspects of Dominica's culture and was unveiled on Thursday at the Dominica Olympic Committee's headquarters. Dominica's King's Bateau symbolizes its participation in the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. The Glasgow 2026 Games have adopted a unique feature of each of the 74 Commonwealth nations and territories received a custom-designed baton reflecting their unique cultures. The batons will be reunited in Glasgow in 2026, where King Charles will read his message, officially opening the Games.
Yes! Congratulations to number 4, Pioneer Prep, Sani Laville, completing his
stint here this afternoon.
Yes. So you can now relax,
What a thing.
have a smile. But she doesn't, oh, she's next. So I was wondering why she doesn't have a headset.
Yes.
From Seniku. She have a little something about her, a little nice vary, but she feels good. Milia, once again, our partners mean so much to us. We also have the Education Trust Fund with us.
All right, so.
Can a representative from the Education Trust Fund come and say hello and hi to us? Education Trust Fund. As we are in sync, we are in line in the root of education. And Milia, she's all yours.
Yes,
Proud grandma of a 2024 graduate.
Nice.
Come, grandma. Milia is yours.
All right, and good afternoon. Tell us your name.
Good afternoon. I am Glenda Castle, Director on the Education Trust Fund Board, and I represent the south of the island.
Today you were here representing, of course, the Education Trust Fund, but you will be asking of those who are here amongst us to make a contribution. How important is that contribution?
That contribution is very important because, as some of us here may not know, there are some children whose parents are just not able to send them to secondary school. And so with the help of the school transfer grant from central government and from the Education Trust Fund, this helps some of the underprivileged children to attend secondary school.
You know, you say that with so much passion. It means that you've been in it for quite some time. When first was this Education Trust Fund grant established?
This started in 1981. Well, actually, the Education Trust Fund Board was instituted in 1981 under this is Dame Eugenia Charles.
And how has it been going so far?
It's been going very good. Although with me being a director, and I have seen some persons who have gotten assistance from the Education Trust Fund, as our winner of last year said, you have to read so that you can get a degree. There are some persons who have gotten assistance, and for whatever reason, when they are being contacted to give back to Education Trust Fund, they don't, and it really saddens me.
Right, so I'm sure you're appealing to those of you who would have invested in to invest back in Education Trust Fund.
Very much so.
Thank you so much.
You're most
and please open your pockets and purses and wallets and ensure that you put in something into this beautiful bag that she's holding, because she will be passing in just a little while for your contribution into a child's education.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And may God bless you for the work that you're doing. We're going to number 5 now.
We are going to number 5 from
Seneco
Primary, Miss Kiaria John.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Janet Bell of the Whitey Kubuli Artists Association said she is honored to have been selected to design Dominica's King's Battle. The battle highlights many aspects of Dominica's culture and was unveiled on Thursday at the Dominica Olympic Committee's headquarters. Dominica's King's Battle symbolizes its participation in the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. The Glasgow 2026 Games have adopted a unique feature. Each of the 74 Commonwealth nations and the territories received a custom-designed battle reflecting their unique cultures. The battles will be reunited in Glasgow in 2026, where King Charles will read his message, officially opening the Games.
Right.
Let it go!
Miss
Aye.
Kia Ria John from the Seneco Primary.
It appears the whole of Seneco is there.
It appears so. But for some reason, I want to go back to the point that the director of, the Education Trust Fund made. Because I'm not sure if you all understand how important it is to touch someone's lives. And when yours or your child's life is touched, and they have the opportunity to make a change or to advance themselves, I should say, and to not take the opportunity to do the same for a less fortunate child, it is, of course, touching.
You were once unfortunate.
Yes.
And the Education Trust Fund came to your rescue. It allowed you the opportunity and education so you could better yourself and take care of your family. Now that you have done so, you have issues to contribute to the trust fund, the same trust fund that allowed you an opportunity to educate yourself. This is not nice. This is not nice.
I think maybe a system should be established where you will be linked to the Education Trust Fund once you receive some form of
I
contribution.
believe you should just show gratitude, man. Just show gratitude. You were allowed the opportunity to go to educate yourself. And just the humanity in you should give back.
How quickly we forget what it is.
How quickly we forget. This is ungrateful. And I call in and appealing to those who got assistance from Education Trust Fund or any other organization, give back so that some other student or child can get that same privilege you got. We are ready for number 6.
We are ready for number 6, representing the Roosevelt Douglas Primary.
Roosevelt Douglas.
Amelia Debon.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Janae Bell of the Whitey Kubuli Artist Association said she is honored to have been selected to design Dominica's King Baton. The baton highlights many aspects of Dominica's culture and was unveiled on Thursday at the Dominica Olympic Committee headquarters. Dominica's King Baton symbolizes its participation in the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. The Glasgow 2026 Games have adopted a unique feature. Each of the 74 Commonwealth nations and territories received a custom-designed baton reflecting their unique cultures. The batons will be reunited in Glasgow in 2026, where King Charles will read his message, officially opening the Games.
Yes. Amelia Debon, representing the Roosevelt Douglas Primary School. She can now relax.
Yes. And indeed, she's going to relax, and that's good. Her job is over. She can now take her relax.
You notice what is written behind her blazer?
What's written behind the blazer?
Don't worry, be happy.
Don't worry, be happy. And she's actually depicting that message. But Milia, on the sporting side, can you recall when Curtis Murphy used to be the sports editor at DBS Radio?
You mean until he got to how far
Yes,
he was?
he graduated.
No, I mean until he got to reporting from the Olympics?
Yes, he got to report from the Olympics.
Yes.
Did you know that Curtis Murphy scored 300 runs in a game? Where it was again now? Somewhere in, I think wrong as they were playing.
What was it called? Oh, in a game, it wasn't cricket.
It was cricket.
County cricket?
Cricket in Netherlands, I think.
By the way, Stephen
Do you know Ivona John Baptist was also a sports,
yes.
and would ride to get a sports at the various, seriously.
Yes.
Ivona John Baptist, now our program director. But those were the days of a different level of commitment. You needed to get the sports on air, you needed to get the information on air, and you had to go like Gavin does. Gavin will go out of space to get the information, but this is always part of the life of a broadcaster. Do you know any other sports news or sports personalities or sports editors at DBS?
I remember Brian Francis.
Brian Francis.
Yes.
You know Paul Charles?
No, I don't know Paul Charles.
John Jololo Black?
No.
John Jololo Black was a footballer.
Okay.
National footballer, played for Dominica. Tasha, you enjoying the vibes? Good. We're getting set now for...
Oh, he has said no.
Oh, he isn't ready yet.
He isn't ready yet.
Have you ever tried sports in Creole?
You mean reading sports in Creole?
Yes.
I do that every time.
Every day.
What?
How you felt when Dominica won its first gold medal?
Well, it was a beautiful thing to actually...
I nous dis ça à Creole pour
mais c'était un bon bagage, c'était une nouvelle qui était bien formidable, vraiment, pour ça présenter une nouvelle qui Dominique ça médaillé, enfin, pour taper en médaille.
Ok, continuez tout à l'heure.
All right, and we call on our next reader. Yes, I believe it's our 7th reader representing the St. Luke's Primary. It is John Baptist.
Make you feel welcome.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Janet Bell of the Whitey Kubuli Artist Association said she is honored to have been selected to design Dominica's King Baton. The baton highlights many aspects of Dominica's culture and was unveiled on Thursday at the Dominica Olympic Committee's headquarters. Dominica's King's Baton symbolizes its participation in the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. The Glasgow 2026 Games have adopted a unique feature. Each of the 74 Commonwealth nations and territories received a custom-designed baton reflecting their unique cultures. The batons will be reunited in Glasgow in 2026, where the King Charles will read his message officially opening the games.
All right.
Let it go for...
It is John Baptist from the St. Luke's Primary.
Yes.
Have you ever done any sporting?
Of course, man.
Oh, okay.
Football for national youth team.
Okay.
Basketball.
All right.
I played together with Jolo and these guys, you know.
Who?
Jolo, John Loblack.
Okay. All right.
Don Lioga.
So you played football?
For the Dominican national youth team.
All right.
Then I broke my leg.
Ooh.
I was the fastest sprinter at the St. Mary's Academy.
Okay, then.
10.9 my last race. What games you played at Granby?
No, I played at national level. As a netballer, I was a goal shooter.
Oh, you was a netballer.
Yes.
From?
What do you mean from? National level.
National level. Oh, national level.
National level. I was a goal shooter.
And what happened?
I got old.
You got old?
Because there are certain categories. Of course, you have under 16, under 19, under 23. I got old.
National is I'm got age.
Well, at the time when I was representing at those levels, I tried after, and I think I injured my back.
Oh, you injured your back.
And the Dominican Grammar School grounds.
National haven't got age.
No, what I got old too. Well, currently I play dominoes.
Dominoes?
Yes.
You're a national domino player?
I am a national domino player.
Okay, representing which part of Dominica?
Representing Dominica. It's a national. I represent Dominica.
No, but which team locally? Which team locally?
Local team within the current tournament that's going on. represent No Name. That's our team.
No Name.
No Name.
No Name. From where?
From Trafalgar.
No Name from Trafalgar?
That is correct.
And you all have won any games?
Well, we would have won, of course, the freehand competition.
Show me no spoil. Since you have to make all kind of sign.
Well, I don't believe in sign. So, if you have to have
Our
sign,
next competitor.
Our next competitor from the Ebenezer SDA Primary.
Make her feel welcome.
Kira David.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Janae Bell of the Waitikubuli Artists Association said she is honored to have been selected to design Dominica's King Baton. The baton highlights many aspects of Dominica's culture and was unveiled on Thursday at the Dominica Olympic Committee's headquarters. Dominica's King's Baton symbolizes its participation in the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. The Glasgow 2026 Games have adopted a unique feature. Each of the 74 Commonwealth nations and territories received a custom-designed baton reflecting their unique cultures. The batons will be reunited in the Glasgow in 2026, where King Charles will read his message, officially opening the games.
All right,
Yes.
Kira David.
Yes.
From the Ebenezer SDA Primary.
Can we big up some partners now?
Of course we can.
Of course.
Let me just say
Man, I like
special-
that competition, Billy. The competition is tight. Anyone can win. I love it.
We say thank you to Shewen Cuisine, the Central Cooperative Credit Union, Fine Foods Inc., FRX L'Express Diesel, Dominica Water and Sewage Company Limited, Duasco, Perky's Pizza, AC Shillingford and Company Limited, Jungle Bay, Lindo Mart, Dominica Electricity Services, Domlec, Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Peanuts Mountain Resort, Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, DASPA, Petro Caribe, the National Cooperative Credit Union, the West Coast Cooperative Credit Union, La Falaise Medical Lab, APP Electricals, Macmillan's Service Station, Rubens Bakery, OT Trucking and Septic Cleaners, Jay's Bookstore, and of course, our headline sponsor, Dragon Windows.
Millie, apart from announcing, broadcasting, you are a tour guide.
Once a tour guide, always a tour guide.
Right. I would like you to tell me some of the finest 10. If we have to go, we will stop and come back. 10 of the best things you can do in Dominica. The best. 10 of the best things you can do in Dominica. Wiflishy. Think. Focus. Number 10.
Well, one of the things that you can do in Dominica, of course, I always encourage people is to snorkel or dive.
Snorkel or dive. Where?
At the Champagne, you can do it at various sites. At Champagne, of course, Soufriere, and of course at the Cabarets, you could also snorkel and dive. As you know, Dominica is within the top 3 destinations for diving. So that is something that you needed to experience. I'm not sure if you know it, Wadex, but I'm a certified diver. So yeah.
You are a certified diver?
Yes, Wadex, I am.
Dive.
Dive.
With glass and
tank.
Flippers.
That is correct.
Okay. Number 9.
Number 9.
Okay, we're ready. We're coming from number 9 when I get back.
So we're heading to number 9 for readers from the Benz Primary School, Amelia Road.
Welcome!
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Janae Bell of the Waitikubuli Artists Association said she is honored to have been selected to design Dominica's King's Baton. The baton highlights many aspects of Dominica's cultures and was unveiled on Thursday at the Dominica Olympic Committee's headquarters. Dominica's King's Baton symbolizes its participation in the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. The Glasgow 2026 Games have adopted a unique feature. Each of the 74 Commonwealth nations and territory received a custom-designed baton reflecting their unique cultures. The batons will be reunited in Glasgow in 2026, where King Charles will read his message officially opening the Games.
Yes!
Yes, Amelia Roll from the Benz Primary School.
That's nice. They are cheering on each other.
Yes.
That's good. Number
Comrade-
9.
Comrade,
Number 9.
you're back on my case now. Number 9, of course, Dominica offers, one of the best experience as far as adventure. And for the lovers of adventure and nature, Dominica is one of the top destinations as well for that. So, of course, I would encourage you to visit the various sites, adventurous sites, of course. Take a little hiking here, there, and there. We can, of course, go to
On the trail.
On the trail, we have the Waitu Kubuli National Trail.
But I saw you slinging. Any of you saw us slinging? You don't see it? You take a sling. That is the...
That is soon to come in by the end of 2025. We're talking about the Dominica cable car.
Dominica cable car.
Yes, this is one of the best thing that you ask me. You have not yet experienced it, but I can tell somebody this is one of the best thing you can experience in Dominica cable car when it comes around at the end of the year, beginning 2026.
So what were you doing looking like Tarzan, going up and down?
I was looking like Tarzan.
You wasn't on a car for sure.
Well, I was on a cabin.
So that's number 1. You must experience the cable car.
You must experience cable car.
What else?
Of course, like I said, we have so many adventures. You can, of course, go hiking around the various...
My number 1 is the glow show. Next one, let's go!
Our final reader for this afternoon as we complete this competition. And more so, the DBS Sports from the Pitted Savan Primary, Malik
Pitted Savan!
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Johnny Bell of the Wetakubuli Artists Association said she is honored to have been selected to design Dominica King's Battle. The battle highlights made aspects of Dominica's culture and was unveiled on Thursday at the Dominica Olympic Committee's headquarters. Dominica King's Battle symbolizes its participation in the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. The Glasgow 2026 Games have adopted a unique feature. Each of the 74 Commonwealth nations and territories received a custom-designed battle reflecting their unique cultures. The battles will be reunited in Glasgow in 2026, where King Charles will read his message officially opening the Games.
Let it go!
For Malik Smith from the Pitted Savan. So now y'all can relax.
No, but before they relax, you all stand, just stand. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a rousing round of applause. You can sit. You can now sit. You can now sit. You can now sit. Whichever one win, they are all winners.
Yes.
Our next, we have a performance.
Yes, so just to put you in the relaxation mode, we have, of course, a performance here. As this year's theme, it's reading and calypso. So we now call to center stage at this year's reading competition, the Liberator.
Make him feel welcome.
Thank you very much. I would like to say congratulations to all the participants. They are amazing. The future of our nation. I am also like to congratulate DBS on the 50th anniversary. I'm also celebrating 50 years in the Calypso business in the arena. 54, okay, correction. Thank you. The youths are very impressive. I am elated. It's breathtaking, you know. This reading competition, I must say, will continue for a long time because it is the future, like I said, of the nation. I am proud to represent the Dominica Calypso Association here this evening. And I want to tell you that Calypso is also culture. Like Creole, originated from the plantation. And Nancy took off his hat to dance to Calypso. But Calypso is not only dancing. Calypso is for education. You know, Calypso is an expression in whatever field. Thank you. This one is entitled, Let's Build the World. Yeah. I have a love for humanity, and I'm sure that you will agree. We can make this world a better place to be. Mother Nature full of plenty to make us all happy. Equally to share and live peacefully. Let's build the world for the next generation. Let's build the world on a solid foundation. Let's build the world. Make your contribution. Let's build the world. It's the grand achievement of man. We want to know when all nuclear bombs will be gone forever. We want to know that there'll never be a next Hiroshima. We want to know that the little children no longer suffer. We want to know tomorrow will be safer. So stop the war. Seek out the Creator. Stop the war. What are you fighting for? Stop the war. Stop the war. Diplomacy can work for sure. Badabadam, badam, badam, dam, dabam, bam, badabam. Badabadam, badam, bam, badem, bedem, bem, bam, boom. Badabadam, badam, bam, badem, bedem, bam, badabam. Bam, badem, dam, badadada. Immiseration we can ignore. Change the economic structure. Help the weak and poor as we endeavor. Hope to secure. Learn to change our behavior. Create a bright future. Stop fighting war. Let's build the world. Reform the United Nations. Let's build the world. Equal rights and justice must stand. Let's build the world. Make your contribution. Let's build the world. It is the grand achievement of man. We want to know when all sanctions will be lifted on Cuba. We want to know that Palestinians are treated much better. We want to know that neo-colonialism is over. We want to know tomorrow will be liver. So take the war, seek out the Creator. Stop the war. What are you fighting for? Stop the war. Only love will conquer. Stop the war. Diplomacy can work for sure. A multipolar system is here. Anxiety is everywhere. Never give up hope. Do not despair. nation. Let's build the world on a solid foundation. Let's build the world. Make your contribution. Let's build the world. It is a grand achievement of man. We want to know when all nuclear bombs will be gone forever. We want to know there will never be a next Hiroshima. We want to know that the little children no longer suffer. We want to know later will be greater. So stop the war. Seek out the Creator. Stop the war. What are you fighting for? Stop the war. Only love will conquer. Stop the war. Diplomacy can work for sure. Badabadam badam bam badam badam bam badam. Badabadam badam da 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 da. Badabadam badam bam badam badam badam. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
The Liberator.
Okay, a Pan-Africanist celebrating 50 years of Kaiso in Dominica. He actually sang in the Sparrow tent in Trinidad for several years. And he writes, composes, and delivers his own songs. Our final section, Milia?
Yes, our final bit for this afternoon as we welcome again the staff from the NCCU for the final leg of the NCCU tries.
NCCU.
Yes. So
for the final time.
This time they'll be reading.
Is that the results or the
NCCU
NCCU?
Sports.
Can the children go and see their teachers and their parents in the meantime?
I believe they should. They can.
Why not? Now the competition is over, man.
Yep.
And then we'll call all you back when we're ready for the results.
Yes.
Of course. Right. So the NCCU.
All right. So we are back with our NCCU readers. We now call on Nicole George in NCCU Sports.
Yes, NCCU.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Grand Bay Credit Union, Colts picked up a compressive innings win over Tremor as the NCCU Dominica Cricket Association Premier League got underway last weekend. Colts batted first and got 303 with Lex Maglo hitting 73, Curtly Ansem 72 and Wani Regis 56. Tremors replied with 96. Malachi Xavier made 26. Jeremy Isaac took 4 for 40 and Lex Maglo 3 for 39. Tremors batting a second time were dismissed for 136. James hit 77. Colts won by an innings and 71 runs. Over at Windsor Park, Neo Davis hit back-to-back half-centuries as KFC Summit gained first innings points over champions Nagico Northern Stars. Summit took the first knock and made 168. Nagico Stars in their return at the wicket were dismissed for 142.
Let it go!
Nicole George in NCCU Sports. The next reader is Naira Remy.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Grand Bay Credit Union Colts picked up a comprehensive innings win over Tremors as the NCCU Dominica Cricket Association Premier League got underway last weekend. Colts batted first and got 303 with Lex Maglo hitting 73, Courtney Anselm 72 and Yawani Regis 56. Tremors replied with 96. Malachi Xavier made 26. Jeremy Isaac took 4 for 40 and Lex Maglo 3 for 39. Tremors batting a second time were dismissed for 136. James hit 77. Colts won by an innings and 71 runs. Over at Windsor Park, Neo Davies hit back-to-back half-centuries as KFC Summits gained first innings points over champions Nagico Northern Stars. Summits took the first knock and made 168. Nagico Stars, in their turn at the wicket, were dismissed for 142.
Let it go for the second reader of the NCCU tries.
And the third reader is Samin Daru, again in NCCU Sports.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Grand Bay Credit Union Colts pick up a comprehensive innings win over Tremors as the NCCU Dominica Cricket Association Premier League got underway last weekend. Colts batted first and got 303 with Lex Maglaw hitting 73, Courtney Anselm 72 and Yawani Regis 56. Tremors replied with 96, Malachi Xavier made 26, Jeremy Isaac took 4 for 40, and Lex Maglaw 3 for 39. Tremors, batting a second time, were dismissed for 136. James hit 77, Colts won by innings and 71 runs. Over at Windsor Park, Neo Davis hit back-to-back half-centuries as KFC Summits gained first innings points over champions Nagico Northern Stars. Summits took the first knock and made 168. Nagico Stars, in their turn at the wicket, were dismissed for 142.
And that was Samin Daru, the final reader in this final round of the NCCU tries. You would have heard earlier that you can, of course, vote on the various NCCU platforms. We'll, of course, give you an opportunity to do so. I'm not saying my head coach for NCCU, who would have given us a little more detail. But thank you so much, readers. And, of course, she's coming so she can tell us how it goes and who would be the winner for the NCCU tries in this year's reading competition.
Thank you. Okay, so voting is live. It is open. So those of you who have your mobile devices, you can go on to the NCCU Facebook page. You can also check out the DBS Radio Live on Facebook. We will be posting the link there in the comments. So you are free to go on and vote. Of course, you have a small window to do so because we will be giving the results this afternoon as well. So please go on and vote. Send a message to somebody else. Tell them, please go and vote. We've been looking at the comments and people have been saying who their winners are, but that's not how they will win. You have to vote. And we are encouraging everybody to please go out and do that. So as I said, voting is live, and we will be giving the results this afternoon. It's all up to you, the members.
Thank you so much. And at this note, we will, of course, say, once again, a special thanks to our very sponsors, our headline sponsor, Dragon Windows. Choose a Dragon. Build resilience, build quality. Jay's Bookstore. J's Limited for all your books, back to school and office supplies. OT trucking and septic cleaners, you call, they haul. Ruben's Bakery, come taste the difference. Macmillan Service Station, your Macmillan, your one-stop automobile shop. APP Electricals, we do it better. La Falaise Medical Lab, quality and confidentiality assured. West Coast Cooperative Credit Union, your only credible choice for success. The National Cooperative Credit Union, your community financial partner. Petro Caribbean, Energy for Union. Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, DASPA, a dynamic getaway for economic growth. Peanuts Mountain Resorts, Nature's Harmony, your modern retreat. Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Dominica Electricity Service, DOMLEC, the power to serve you better. Lindo Mart, we serve, you save. Jungle Bay, AC Shillingford and Company Limited. Dominica Water and Sewage Company Limited, our water, our treasure, our life. FRX, L'Express des Îles, Fine Foods Inc., the biggest distributor for the biggest brands. The Central Cooperative Credit Union, your financial institution of choice. Chez Wen Cuisine, good food with a view. And these are our many sponsors. We say thank you so much for coming on board, for ensuring the successful presentation. Kashina Joseph, please report to the podium. Kashina Joseph.
We are now calling on all the students. All the students, the pupils come. Kashina. Look at it. So all the pupils, we're calling on all the pupils. We're calling on all the pupils.
All the students, all the readers, please.
All the readers.
Join us.
We are missing one more.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, viewers and listeners, we have the results. And now we'll be presenting in just a short while who the top reader for 2025 is. But before that, we'll hear from one of our judges, Miss McDougall, who will give us the judges' review.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone. And I first want to start off by commending the student readers today. I believe that it's been an extremely inspiring event that we've just witnessed. We're trying to make it for 6 to hear the news, guys. So let me first start off by congratulating all of the participants who made it to the finals. I think they deserve. Nice. And throughout this afternoon, we witnessed their dedication, we witnessed the preparation, we witnessed the courage that they took to sit before us and really deliver such captivating readings, and we must commend them on their efforts. I think we can agree, guys, that you are all winners, and so we congratulate all of you. Okay, so from the judges' side, we must make mention that the standard of reading and the composition that was displayed today was nothing short of exceptional. The students did extremely well. From the first reader to the last reader, the level of competence and understanding of the material made the adjudication process extremely challenging. And we see that in the disparity of the points. We see, 1 point differences, 6 point differences between the first between the, second and fourth readers. So there were several key strengths that stood out, and we want to point out on that. Many of the students had very strong narrative skills. They showed an ability to convey the story clearly and very effectively. We were particularly impressed by how they used tone to emphasize key points and how they adjusted their inflection to capture the stories that they told. And furthermore, we also want to commend them for the ability to recover quickly from mistakes and errors when they were made. Sometimes we could not even identify that they made errors, and so that's very commendable. Additionally, they all displayed great confidence. I mean, at 10, I'm not sure if I myself was as strong a reader. So definitely you're all confident, and I wish you the best moving forward. On the other side, that said, part of growth comes from reflection as well. And so there are a few areas that we want to encourage everyone to continue working on. One such area is the reading of the news pieces. We recognize that narratives and news pieces vary differently. And so the enthusiasm that we anticipated to hear in the news pieces were lost. It was lost, sorry. And while accuracy was generally good, many of the readings lacked the dynamism needed to bring the content to life. So for the teachers, for the parents who are assisting the students in their preparations in the coming year, we hope that you can take this particular point, because we did see some enthusiasm, more enthusiasm in newsreaders today, but we still hope that it was across the board. There are other points that the other judges as well wanted me to communicate, which was the logical flow of words. We saw that sometimes we lacked the grouping of words when students were actually reading, both in the news and as well in the narrative. And sometimes there was the emphasis on the wrong words in the pieces. With that said, I want to encourage you guys that this competition is just one chapter in your reading journey, all right? And every story that you explore will help you learn and discover more about the world around you. So I want to encourage you to continue reading, continue learning, and continue dreaming. Thank you, guys. And lastly, I also want to commend the organizers on the continued success of the reading program. We heard a call for sponsorship. So again, calling on the private sector, the DIC will see how our efforts can potentially support the reading competition in 2026. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. McDougall. But before we go into the results, we also had a mini competition going on by the NCCU, and the results are in. So we'll allow them to come and present to us who the winner is for the NCCU tries.
We will be very quick, and I'm walking up smiling because I want to say a big shout out to the members of NCCU. You all are awesome. We just put out that link and we are at 800 plus votes. So big shout out to the NCCU members. You all are amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. At this point, we'll call the readers because all three of you will be presented with something today for sure. In third place, we have all the way from our Vekas branch, Naira Remy. Thank you very much, Naira. In second place, and of course, once I read this will tell you who won. In second place, we have somebody who was shouting for one of the schools there very loudly, Miss Samin Daru. And she was shouting for the Pidit Savan school because, yes, that is her area. So that means in first place, the winner of NCCU Tries DBS Felix Henderson reading competition is none other than Miss Nicole George. Thank you very much. We had an awesome time, and we are very much looking forward to who is the actual winner of this competition.
Okay, thank you so much, NCCU, for trying. And we want to encourage you too to continue reading. Before we present the results, we want to present each participant with a book written
Call on the acting manager of
by Felix
DBS
Henderson.
Radio.
And
this is from the wife of Felix Henderson, a book of his autobiography. So we're going to call them one by one, Milia?
Yes, one by one. From the first reader, Miss Paris, please come and
yes.
receive your book. Because You Are With Me, written by Felix Henderson.
Okay.
Jahid Walsh, the Berean Christian Academy. Imani Prevost and Sauve Primary. Sanil Laville, Pioneer Prep. Kiaira John from the Sineku Primary. Kiara. Amelia DeBorn from the Roosevelt Douglas Primary. It is John Baptist. Amelia. Well, it doesn't matter. It is, you're already there. Go ahead, it is. Amelia, your turn. Kira David. Amelia Rowe. And Malik Smith. Again, these books were presented by the wife of the late Felix Henderson.
Mikala Henderson.
Mikala Henderson.
Thank you very much, Mikala. I also want to say thank you to Grace and the entire Henderson family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are ready.
We are ready.
Eskenupawe.
Esopawe.
Are you ready for the final results?
I think it just kicked in, Warix. It
Yes.
just kicked in. However, we will just want to inform the readers, we'll be taking it from the 5th position. So once your name is called, we will ask you to join us front of stage, if you want to call it that. So once you hear your name call, please join us to the front of the table. Warix, I'm now viewing what I'm viewing.
We are just going to call the first 5.
The first 5.
In random order.
You want to do that?
Okay, we're going to call them from 5. 5 to 1.
We're going 5 to winner.
To the winner.
Yes.
In 5th place, in the Felix Henderson Ministry of Education Reading Competition, sponsored by Dragon Windows, coming from
the Pitt 7 Primary School, Malik Smith, with 552 points.
By the front, by the front. The judges decided in 4th place
with 661 points,
coming from
the Lighthouse Academy, Kelly Paris.
In 3rd place, in the Felix Henderson Ministry of Education, DBS Radio.
Headline sponsor, a Dragon Window.
From
3rd place with 662 points from the Ebenezer STA Primary, Kira David.
In second place, with 697 points from
the Roosevelt Douglas Primary School, Amelia Debon. Ladies and gentlemen,
the moment and time you have been waiting for.
The top reader for 2025 have been selected by our panel of 5 judges.
In the Felix Henderson
DBS Radio,
Ministry of Education,
headline sponsor Dragon Windows, reading competition for 2025.
The champion
is with 715 points
from
the Sineku Primary School.
Kiera
John.
So here they are. We now call on the coordinator to say some final words.
Yes.
They are the winners.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody. Congratulations to Sineku Primary and our top 5. Congratulations to our other readers. Can you stand? Give them a round of applause. As the judges said, it was a tight competition. They read extremely well. We did see improvements along the way, and we want to say congratulations to you. Continue reading, and we will, the next time you see us, will be at the prize giving ceremony, where we'll be dishing out some goodies, both cash and in-kind prizes to not only our top 5, but all 10 finalists will be receiving cash prizes in addition to many, 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 many other prizes. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting DBS Radio. And thank you for supporting our mission to continue to educate the nation.
Of course, we want to ask those of you who are sitting, if you get the opportunity to fold your chairs, that would do a great deal. All right. Once again, we want to call back the readers. We want to call back all the readers. Calling back on all of the readers.